see you dancing in the emerald. When's the picture catch yourself? I can see you dancing in the emerald. I can see you.
Oh, Emerald child, there's no need to be mild. You were raised to behave, but you were born to be wild. Yannick, don't panic, Fazel's on the way. Leeway's sliding through the ranks, and he's here to stay.
I can see you dancing in the emerald. When's the picture catch yourself? Oh, emerald child. Oh, will you go on without us? I can see you dancing in the emerald bell. When's the picture catch yourself?
Change is coming through the Nichibotsu. It's nature now, no one yet supposes. But don't fear now the threat it poses, 'cause everybody's ready for the rain of roses. Mike, and hello everyone, we are audio and video live. Welcome to the Rain of Roses. Everyone's ready for it, as you may or may not be aware. I am your Dreamweaver, Lee. We have Judge Wolf as Yannick, Matt as Leeway, and Greg is, of course, Fazel, Master of the Hunt. And
hello.
We all have channels before. I think we're going to do this Judge Wolf of Tabletop Anthologies fame. You can find them playing all sorts of fun games on twitch.tv/TTA or Tabletop Anthologies. Loads of links, check them out. And Matt playing Leeway, Improv and RPG. Very cool. Recently rebanned from Improv and D&D, Improv and RPG. Thank you. There's multiple looks to this overlay. You prepare them. And we are here together for an adventure of a lifetime. And as we prepare for this adventure, we find ourselves with a song in our hearts. Yes.
Is it the same one that just played? Because that's going to be in my heart forever.
Yeah.
We have these
Between my ears,
Emo
my
Bloom.
heart.
Shout out to Man and Weapon. I've commissioned 2 tracks from him. Also, the intro song is by Cole. Shout out to our man, Oddmut E-Man. But Man and Weapon, he's on Fiverr. He does commission music. I've commissioned him before. I'll commission him again. Emerald Rising, Emerald Bloom. This is the Bloom. Get ready for the Rising. Holy shit. And we enter a day in the life, many days in the life, in fact, of one young man, Yannick Emerald, or Emerald Yannick, as he is known at court. Yannick, your life has been, in ways, a breeze. You have known the castle, you have known expectation and rigor and training, but things have flown together in a sort of liquid way as you look back at it. It's hard to moor yourself to a single moment in life. A single moment in life until a day shortly after you turn 16. You are in the castle gardens beneath your grandfather's study tower. And you find yourself in armor, equipped, and your brother, Daiichi, bids you forth as you are examining. You've found a strange stone at the edge of the pool of the garden. And you are in your chainmail and you have your sword, and Daiichi has proposed that you spend the day training because, and I quote, "Come on, Yannick, I'm already a ritter. I'll show you what it takes." Indeed, your brother had his quest early, and has for years now earned his esteem as a ritter, a knight in his own right. Now, obviously, you were to inherit a far greater title, but it's still an important sign of manhood in becoming a real warrior to do that. Oh my fucking god, it just said connection to server distant. Good, we're good.
It's been doing that to me a little bit.
So,
Hey, Foundry has a tendency to do that whenever everyone loads through the map. You're safe.
All right, we're good. So, Yannick, you've been interested by this stone, and Daiichi's bidding you on, but as you're checking it out, a familiar voice says, "Ah, my boy, it's your grandfather, Delricker. he plods around to you as he does around the castle always. And he says, "Ah, my boy, I see you've found one of the circle stones." And you have. It's an interesting... It's carved almost such that it had moss on it recently, but the gardeners took it away, and you can see it's this circle with these blue dots all around the edge, 20 of them in all, and one red line that goes from one edge of the circle to the other. It is crudely done in pixel art on the map. It is a strange thing. He looks at you and says, "You know, it's something of a game. They say there are 20 of them in all around the castle." He gazes up at the stars then. The sky. It's daylight out. It's early morning, really. And he says... Or rather, he waits and he looks at you. And you know that your grandfather is a man who doesn't like to say everything. He likes to lead the horse to water and sees if it drinks. Meanwhile, your brother Daiichi is saying, like, "Come on, Yannick. I need to show you what it's like to fight on a bridge." And he is, in fact, over by the bridges over the pond.
Grandfather, what did you call these stones?
These are the circle stones. They are an interesting piece of our history. From before the times of Ufona the Builder. Before he gesticulates the massive castle walls that are like 40 feet above your head. And even his tower behind him. And these stones... I think there is something to them. I haven't found them all. But you see, all of them are aligned between 2 points on a 20-pointed circle. The next time you see your father's throne, you should make a note of what it bears by the head. And he sort of has a distant look to him, rubs his beard and says, "Oh, but I hold you too long. Go and train with that sword of yours. You will soon have need for it." And Grandpa kind of like, almost not really like focused on the world around him, kind of like heels out a little and walks by the edges of the lake. And Daiichi says, "Come on, Yannick." And he's wearing his chainmail, you're wearing your chainmail, and he's kind of gesticulating as if though you ought to follow him.
So I kneel down and I look at the stone for just a moment more, and I kind of think about it and place it in my head where it is, and how Grandfather said that they're kind of going to be scattered out throughout the area, in across from each other in 20 points, and stand up and look at Grandfather once more and kind of turn to the side and take off running after my brother.
All right, yeah, so you think about it, and you do know the line it cuts is to the bottom right. And if you were viewing the castle on a map straight down, you're in the southeast of the castle. Yeah, so you follow up Daiichi, and he leads you by. There are many rushes and reeds here, and there are several flowers in the form of literally emerald roses. The petals resemble gemstones. To you, this is just the flowers around your house, but they are a prized possession and growth of the family. And it's by the shrine here where you see the old familiar spirit tablet. Supposedly it holds the spirits of one of your ancient storied ancestors to emerge in your direst moment, but as far as you're concerned, it's just another place that you pray on certain holidays. The Daiichi says, "Now!" And he steps forward, sword up. He's a little older than you. And he unsheaths his blade. He prefers the long sword. And by long sword, I mean katana. And he's learned to use it and a variety of other weapons. But he killed his quest beast, a boar, with a long spear. And you know that his style always favors keeping you at bay. He is 2 years older than you, and a little taller, so he kind of has reach on you. You stand before him with your sword, and he takes 5 foot step forward, holds, and says, "Now, come at me and try to knock me from my feet."
So I pull out my own sword, which is more of the you're gonna have to help me with pronunciation until I get used to it. The Albertian style.
Yeah, the Albardian. Yeah. It's a more.
Sorry, I got to write phonetic.
It's all good. It's a more modern straight blade. They're better at blocking and a little easier to make.
So I unsheath that, and I kind of stare at him for a moment, and brother, just because you have been on your quest doesn't mean you're any better than I am. And so I take a couple of steps forward, and I feint to the right, and then I come straight at him with the sword away from where his side is. So if he's right-handed, I'm going towards his left side.
Yeah, he's right-handed. You're going for his left with the feint. He says, "Fine words, brother. Why don't you come over here and prove it?" Oh! As you manage to take him unexpected. Now, Judge Wolf, this is, I believe, your second time playing 5e, so we're having a little bit of a press X to jump here. Can you make a sword attack with advantage to represent the fact that you have deployed a clever stratagem? All right. You strike him. What strikes you is the sort of like the sounds of the pond all around you. It's worth noting it's not a fully still water. It sort of drains all around. You're not sure how, but you have a big pond up here that always seems to refill itself. And yeah, you swing your blade and you bop him upside the armor. He takes the blow and just all right, Yannick, a fair swing, but let's see if you can hold your own. And he comes in. You've dived in under him, you've hit him, and now he's straight up just trying to pommel bash you. And as this happens, it's less of an attack than a maneuver as he sweeps towards you. And you make a dex save. Which is, you click on the word dexterity. Ooh. So about that dex save. I'd like to remind everybody of the scene here. Our boys are fighting on a wooden bridge over water. Our boys are wearing chainmail. One of our boys just got a bit of a boff to the head. As Yannick, you score a good blow, you take it off forward, and Daichi drops towards you. Brother, no! As you plunge backwards into the water with a huge fuck-off splash. And you enter the very well configured zone as you are within the I put you, it's a 5 foot deep pond and I put you 10 foot under. That's a Leland fail. So you are split. The world comes up around you. You are to not put too fine of a point on it, kinda drowning. He screams, guards run from all over, you have metal armor on you, and you are falling into a pond. It is a shallow pond, you are covered in metal armor.
How shallow are we talking?
Like 6-7 feet deep.
So, realizing that, metal armor is not exactly the best thing to go swimming in. I actually take it, kind of hold deep and I push myself downwards. So I kind of do one of these so that I can plant both feet on the bottom of the pond and push myself up and try and grab a hold of the bottom of that reed bridge.
All right, give me an athletic to disadvantage. You are not under ideal circumstance.
Ooh.
You find yourself
dead within the first 15 minutes.
You find the world sort of palpates. And you realize it's the beating of your own heart. As you hear beating deep within you the heartbeat. And as you descend further. You descend elsewhere. And you find yourself in the middle of a glowing light. And I quickly fix how the foundry is displaying so that our friends in the audience can see that. You are in the middle of the glow. The world grows cold, and you see before you yourself. A strong man. An old man. It's great your beard and your hair. You are sat in your father's throne, and you have by your side, clattering by your side, a sword made entirely of emerald. A green, glowing emerald greatsword. And you see a beautiful woman whose features are yet liquid in the water next to you, crying to you. You know she is the woman you love, the mother of your children. And you see your body riven with crossbow bolts as your mouth is open, contorted in rage and defiance. Thank you, Jack, for the water into the lake. Someone's getting watered right now, am I right?
Just want you to have a little bit of that same feeling I'm getting right now.
Yannick, your lungs fill, but in a moment, your brother's hand grabs yours, guards from everywhere running up, a man has a pole arm he's pulling you out with, and there's this great splash of water as Daichi, quite the swim there, Yannick. Oh, maybe we should betray you. And one of the guards says, Daichi, someone's gonna have to tell your father about this. And
Nobody has to say anything to father. It's fine. I'm fine.
And Daichi's like, don't worry, Yannick. I'll take the fall for this one. It was my fault.
I already took the fall once. We're fine.
He
Fine.
laughs.
Nobody needs to know.
He laughs. He clasps you on the back. You spit a bit of water voluntarily on him. And he's like, brother. It was good. You got me. That was a strong strike. You know a lot about tactics. Keep it up. And he says, oh, I think it's almost time for breakfast. And, he's like, oh, the hall will be ready soon. And as that's being said, someone near the castle yells, Yannick, Daichi, your father wants to speak to you. Now. And Daichi kind of like grimaces and he's like, yeah, I'm taking the fall. I'm taking the fall.
Just don't say anything. It's fine. Just don't say anything.
You know how it gets, but I'll follow your lead. You're the one who knows about tactics. So, you are summoned to the hall of thy father. You go with Daichi, and you stand now in the great hall of Three Hill. Three Hill, the keep and castle you call home. It is a grand. There's a central wing, an eastern wing, and some very nice assorted rubble out to the west. And there's a far northern tower. But you come into the grand central hall that we're definitely about to be able to see inside of because I'm about to put the characters there. And you, Yannick, come in with Daichi. You're like soaking wet in metal armor in a big fuck-off stone castle. And it's morning, so the heat hasn't fully come in from the sun yet. And you see sitting a clean 165 feet away from you on his throne, stooped with the image of a circle going out with lines that you realize radiate into 20 points. Behind him, your father, Sigrun Emerald. He is, one would say, not looking pleased, not shouting at you, not screaming or anything. There are attendants and soldiers around. Peasants prepare food as you smell the baking of foods. And you know who else you see in this room? Right at the side of your father. Why? It's Master of the Hunt. Basil. Oh, fuck.
Hi.
Did I make the close-up cams wrong?
I am all of the cams.
You are all of the... I swear to... Alright, dude, there's a way to fix this, called Lee Does It Dirty. Alright, so...
Cams look fine from my end, I think.
No, so it's supposed to be a close-up on you right now. So we have your close-up,
There we go.
Hello.
Yeah, so Fazl, you have been summoned to your liege's side. As Master of the Hunt, you are normally expected to oversee boar hunting and make sure there aren't poachers, but Fazl takes his job a little more serious than that, though, doesn't he?
A little bit, I make sure there's nothing wrong with the local animals and ecology in the area.
Indeed.
Everything from boars to bees.
And that's why you're at his side, because you see, one thing that Daichi and Yannick will note is he has a letter open in his hands that he's like mulling over. He was mulling over. Now he's just staring straight at both of his children. As Daichi's like, well, and they both, I presume, Yannick, you gotta take the long walk to father. You note hanging to one side, Yannick, you do see some nobles of import. You know these people, they like hang around your house and they suck up to your dad. You note that there are two of them off to one side, seem to be talking down a hallway, and there is a woman who comes out with a sword so long, it might be longer than you are tall, still in the scabbard behind her. You recognize, she is Lady Renho Masooki, and she comes to your father's side, as well as the two of you approach.
So, as we're approaching, I'm not even acknowledging that I am leaving water behind me, right? I have my head up. I'm staring at father's throne, and I'm trying to, discern this thing that grandfather talked about until that's, according to my notes, that would be mother who just came out. No, mother is Amma.
Yeah, so this woman, she's a vassal of your father.
Got you.
Mom,
Sorry. So
yeah, mom isn't on site at the moment.
So I'm just walking up like nothing, like I'm not soaking wet, that nothing's happening. I'm kind of glancing at the other lords and just straight faced whole way.
He
walking
looks
up.
at you. He rears up so his head occludes the circle. Although do pop me and investigate as you ponder the circle.
It's like
I'm pondering
the orb, huh?
you like your dad's mad at you, but you're pondering the orb.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta ponder that orb, okay?
You get the sense that this circle was made with those in mind, even though it has a difference to the way it shapes. This one is supposed to be evocative of a sun, and those more of perhaps a wheel. You think there's a relationship here? Maybe you'll spend time in the study later, or maybe Grandpa will let you see some of the books in his tower. Regardless, Sigrun sees, boy, and he looks at Daichi, and Daichi doesn't say anything, and he says, you, he points, and he says, to the armory. He says, father, and he says, I don't care what you have to say, you're going to be sharpening spears until next week. I can't have you leading your younger brother astray. And Daichi says,
Father, I was simply washing my armor.
Lady Renho cracks a big smile at that one and says, my liege, it seems that your son has done quite the job, although he may have gotten some pond scum under his boots in the process. And he says, I have no time for this, boy. I am Sigrun Emerald. I do not run this realm on poppycock. It has been long enough. You are 16 years old. A man! And look at how you behave. Now then. He holds a letter up and he says, "Do you see this, boy?"
I kind of lean forward and I squint.
Yeah.
Yes, Father, I see.
And he says, "This is an affair of the realm." And he's back and he says, 10 years ago, I held you in my arms, a mere boy. You're calling strife and war. And what we did to those scores on the beach. I did it for you, for your brother, for this realm. Not lightly did I take those lives. And you, boy, will learn the severity of life. This affair of the realm, I have already decided. He gesticulates, and you see there's a servant in the background holding a two-handed stein. And that shows up to you because the two-handed stein is a symbolic item of, I'm sorry, the heartbeat should have stopped by now. A symbolic, thank you, Dionysus. Basically, it is a ritual tool. And how it works is this. The knight, or the person of title, drinks first, repeats the oath, and then you both grab the stein, and you take the stein and you drink. And in that fashion, Ritterhood is conveyed. You become a knight by backwash, basically. And he has it out. He has it out. It's a nice one. It's golden. Like the gold lining his thick emerald ring. And he says, "There has been a disturbance in my realm. One of my Ritters, who died that day, his young daughter, is troubled. Her people attacked. They have immediacy, which you would know means he doesn't have anybody in between him and like the hierarchy. It's like he is your dad's knight directly, or she now is your dad's knight directly. There's no middleman lord in between them. And so the troubles that are above them come straight to me. Fazl, I had thought to dispatch you to deal with this affair, but clearly... Daichi, why are you still here? I sent you to the armory. And Daichi says, "Yes, father." And he kind of he hangs a bit as if to give a sympathetic, "Sorry," look to Yannick before walking off. Now then, now that you've washed your armor, boy, it's time to doff it. And
so I kind of look left and then right, and right here, Father.
And he says, "No, you will go to the armory as well. I want that chainmail off of you. Until I've decided that you can handle it, you'll be wearing a breastplate."
As you will, Father.
Now then, Fazl. He hands the letter to it, and he says,
Yes, my liege.
My boy, Yannick, is going on a quest. As you know, a true Ritter cannot return, no matter what, until he has achieved his quest. Here, before my vassals and all with witnesses, I dispatch you on Yannick's Ritterly quest. Find the beast that is causing these killings, and put an end to it.
Of course, at once, my king. This will actually be a pretty good opportunity. See if we can go over your fieldcraft.
Indeed.
Tracking.
Yes, Fazl. Show my son everything he needs to know. And Yannick,
Yes, Father.
the day will come when you hold the flame. On that day, you will feel the weight of what we must do. And you will know what that tablet in the gardens means. Walk there with reverence. Now then. He turns to Lady Maroki and says, "What do you think, Renho?" And she looks at you and, not unkindly, says, "I think that your son is a budding warrior, but he must learn the most important lesson of the strategist. Above all tactics, one must know when to strike." Well said. All right, then. Basil, I trust you to handle the affairs of the stable. We will put out the announcement. Send for my herald. Once, my lord. There is a shuffling of feet in the background.
At once.
And Yannick, you are... you stand before your father. Your father stands up. He walks up to you. And he puts one hand on your shoulder, looks right at you, and says, "My boy, come home a warrior." And with that, he steps back, and you get the sense that it is time for you also to head to the armory.
So I say, I nod my head. It's like, or not at all, father. And I turn and head out. Out of character really quick. I needed to ask, the area that this beast is doing the killings in, I missed that part. What was it called?
Oh, so I didn't tell you. Sorry. It's the village of Steinbridge, which is like Stonebridge, but in German, Steinbridge.
Oh, Steinbridge.
And so you're being dispatched to Steinbridge, and the letter says, and Fazal would know. Fazal, can I presume you walk with Yannick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So y'all walk and talk. You go through the hallway. And oh gosh, I've been highlighting Fazal this whole time. All right, I'm getting used to this one. So, Yannick, Leeway, and no, not Leeway yet. Sorry. We're going to fix the cameras here briefly. Okay. So, you two are walking and talking. Fazal, what sort of so you're around, you know the boys. You know Yannick pretty well. Yannick knows you pretty well. What sort of rapport do you think that you have with this lad?
Somewhere between like Master of the Hunt and like Boy Scout camp leader. Because I would have been teaching them how to survive out in the wild. I would assume it's like Master of the Hunt, probably.
No, absolutely. Like when you go on hunts, it's like you like part of your role is like if they're there is like particularly when they were younger, is babysit them. Like don't let them eat the poison.
But that was probably back in the day. They probably haven't done that in a long time.
He has,
and I would definitely be the annoying kid that was trying to eat the berries that you specifically told me not to. Like, don't eat those, you will get explosive diarrhea, and I'm waiting till you're not looking to eat them to prove you wrong, and then eat them and get explosive diarrhea.
Well, I figured you'd try it once. You learned by now, though, right?
We'll find out!
Well, I'll cross my fingers.
Indeed. The two of you are off, and you find your way. You go back towards the gardens because that's where the family stable is.
Mm-hmm.
And there are allow me to remove the blue floaty zone from your immediate view here. This is a small family stable here. It's not where like the livestock or the war horses are kept or anything. Most of the war horses anyway, your father's personals are here. And you draw forth your mounts. For your 16th birthday, Yannick, you received a brilliant white horse. And you named him Artax. I think. How do you say that?
Yes, Artax.
Artax, yes. And Fazal brings out his creature, his steed you've seen several times before, Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha is a little bit less like some of the other animals you've seen before. It's a curious, shaped somewhat like a lizard with wings, except it has feathers on it.
Come here, Cho-Cho. Let's go. Saddle up.
I was just like, boing.
And speaking of which, speaking of boing, guess what I'm about to do? Pop, pop, blow your fucking mind. Mounted!
Yo.
And guess what? Guess what, Yannick? Fucking mounted!
Oh my god.
You mount now thine steeds. And you rear forth, but Yannick, as you're doing it, you hear a fast footfall across the grass, and you look up, and you see it is It is Amma, your mother. And she says, Yannick, my boy.
So whenever I came up
Grace.
to Artax, by the way, I would have given him an apple, even though I didn't eat breakfast. I would have stole that from the table, but I'd pull
Yeah,
Artax back, woo, and
Yeah, he gives you like a very affectionate nod. Even being your steed a short time, you've grown close.
yeah, and I would immediately dealing with father and the straight face and everything, seeing mother it brings a smile to my face immediately.
Yeah, and Ava, your mom seems conflicted. She's told you many stories of war and quests and adventures. She tells you the stories of heroes, skirmishers, and warriors. She has at her hip a sword similar to the one that your father has, that you think he got from her family. It's a bent one, inward, like an elongated boomerang, but the inside cuts, a falcata. She is Gazku. She wears her hair and is of a different complexion to the people of the Northern Albarian Empire. Oh, dangerous to go alone for the wolf. Well, ironically, I'm already giving him something. I'm going to give him a third because you did that, Turg. Literally.
Yap.
She grunts up to you, she grabs you from the side of your horse, and she presses something right up into your chest, and she whispers, "Come home." And you have received. You look down and you see items that you've seen hanging on the wall in one of the rooms she frequents, but you had never thought, you never presumed to hold yourself. You have received masterwork Gazku ironwood javelins. You're going to get 2. Thanks to Turk, you're getting 3 as she whips out a third. Now, the ironwood is light yet dense, like nothing you ever felt. The artistry, it's almost like it's a statue, but it's a javelin's tip. This is a non-magical +1 weapon. All 3 of them. And she says, remember, the best heroes know when to pick their fights. And she gives you a forehead kissing.
Of course, mother, I'll return. Don't fear for me. I mean, I have Fazzle with me. How could anything possibly go wrong?
I'll keep him safe, your grace.
She smiles and says, of course, good master of the hunt. Well, she looks out past the statue of Ophosa the Builder in the courtyard, and she says, the sun is still low in the sky. The heralds will be announcing your trip, and of course, by tradition, you'll pass through Underbridge. Pay note to the people you find there. For though they are not most of the people in Old Town, they are all of them your subjects. They will be. Now then, she steps back and gives you can tell she's holding back tears, and she says, a young Ritter should not be delayed on his quest. You will be a hero indeed in truth, my son. And she beams up at you, weapons in your hands, and you and Fazzle are ready to go for a ride. Meanwhile, this, you've been in a certain kind of world in this castle here. However, there is another world, one which we're going to very shortly. Under that bridge to the northern tower I mentioned before, we have Underbridge. Underbridge, in particular, Canal Street, where... Alright, there's going to be a phantom leeway. Pay him no mind. I need to give someone... I need to give someone eyes to see inside of your room. Who isn't you.
Things that only make sense in VTT, but just sound very ominous out of context.
Yes, so,
There's gonna be a doppelganger you. Don't worry about him. I need to give someone eyes in this room.
duplicate.
Just had too good of a night last night.
You've awoken. You awoke to the sound of animals coming from downstairs. Lee awakens to the fact that he needs to change the close-up cam. And You are in one of the mats on the floor that you sleep on. They're nice mats, actually, because you swindled a merchant out of them. Before that, you slept on wooden leaves. The sound of the animals below come from the landlord's animals. You see, you live over the part of the house that stores their animals. Your parents work hard, and it's what they can afford. You, on the other hand, may hardly be working, or perhaps you've just come up with a new plan. Either way, it's a late start to the morning. Your mom and dad are at work, and you know, you look out at the one room that is your abode, and why we got to bring Ohio? And yeah, you find yourselves, you find yourself alone. Although you do hear distant conversation, maybe across the street. And there's like a small alley outside your house. You go downstairs, exit through a little alley entrance, and come out onto the canal before you reach any real road to speak of. And yeah, how do you think Lee? Well, I know how Leeway starts his days, but like after you, like what is he thinking as he just rolls out of bed and stretches in the morning?
Well, at this point, it's like hearing the animals, and I'd say like at this point, he wakes up, but he doesn't open his eyes yet. He's listening intently to see if his parents are still here or not, because his goal is to wake up after they've already left for work, because he
Yeah.
doesn't want them to hassle him. He
I
doesn't
know
want
that maneuver. Hell yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly. If they are still around, he'll just
Mm.
pretend he's just shifting a little bit. But
Yeah.
he doesn't want them to nag him. He doesn't want them to say, find an honest living, do something normal. And then as he gets up, he rolls out, realizing that they're gone. He'll go out and I imagine that they probably have like a little bowl of kanji set out for him. And like he hesitates, he looks at it. He sees, of course, it's cooked very thin. The ratio is a little low because that's what you got to do to get by, to get through sometimes. The good crop, the good rice, the good vegetables that they may produce are always for sale. They're never for us. Only the leftovers, only the stuff that people don't want. And Leeway, as he's thinking about that, the stuff that people don't want, he just kind of says out loud, like me.
Mm.
And then as he steps out, he's thinking, and he's like angry a little bit. He hastily slurps up the kanji, realizing, of course, he's got a job to do, not a job, but there's things that you can do to make a little bit of money here and there.
Yeah.
And he's thinking inside, like, all right, you want me to make something of myself. Well, I'm going to take something for myself. He starts to stroll out.
All right.
Out,
as
looking for a mark.
We begin as we mean to go on. All right. So you step down your stairs there, and you come by. You come by the animals down below as you traverse lower and lower, and oh god, I'm sorry, the VTT isn't showing you what Matt sees, but Matt sees like the pigs and the goats, and
I see black screen.
You will see something. You will see something soon. But yes, you come out. You come out.
Too busy eating our food
Leeway.
that isn't hand-me-downs. Thank you very much.
Damn.
I'll get there someday.
And yeah, you are down here, and Leeway, you are yeah, you walking down. You overhear a nearby an older woman. She's 19, and she's saying, "Of course, tell the court we'll have it. Yes, no, we shouldn't be seen leaving the same way." And yeah, you see Eco walk out. She turns around and says, "Oh, Leeway, I see you're up."
Eco, what's going on?
And she's like, "Oh, nothing's going on." And she closes the door. I'm just on my way out to the river. Come on, join me. I think your friends are over there, and you do see the usual your usual haunt of compatriots is over there.
Okay. if there's any way, like I'd like to just kind of nod and start heading in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And if she leaves that door like unblocked for a second, I'm gonna try to slip over there and open it up.
It is tightly closed. You know that she's a sly person herself, but there
Mhm.
is an open window next to you.
Oh, I'm jumping in. If I can jump in,
Okay, yeah. So you are already like day begins crime.
oh, absolutely.
My man does not sleep on crime. All right, so you pop in, and you see something interesting on the table. Probably something that like wasn't even like thought of by whoever left it, but to you it's quite valuable. It's a penny made of iron. Now you know what those are because you've seen them before. It's dwarf craft, undeniably dwarf craft, which is weird
Ah.
because there's not a lot of dwarves down here. So it's a little strange that there's dwarf cash down here, but
Hmm.
money's money.
Okay. Okay. In that case, if I happen to have like a copper or something, I'm gonna replace it.
All
I'm gonna
right,
take the dwarf penny and leave my own.
amazing. Yeah, you managed to get a bit of a better value there. I've moved you on the main VTT, but I haven't seen you moved yet on the stream. We'll live with that. So you guys, so you liberate it. In the rest of the house, in the center of the house, there's a small drawer. There's an Aurori with a pot in it for cooking. You know, it's your next door neighbor's house. You know that they don't have much more than you do. But you also know that there'll be somebody waiting for you at the corner where you normally exit, who will take it amiss if you don't go by there.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. I mean, in that case, like if I kind of know the layout, is there some place where I could like is there a window where I might be able to make just a little bit of noise and draw their attention before I try to slip out?
Yeah. So you're trying to dodge anybody seeing you leave.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so you make a bit of noise by the far window, and people, if anybody's around to hear you, have now heard that instead, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just a little squawk.
Mm-hmm. So you throw out the fake cry. You manage to get out, and you carry on towards the canal through this through your normal way or through this way.
I'll say through this way. I mean, I
Right.
would hate for Aiko to see me leaving that house from
Yeah.
that
Yeah. So
direction.
yeah, she's already crossed the river, and you see some people. You see a stranger. He's got blue face tattoos, wearing furs, axe at his hip. Not a usual kind of guy. A few of them, in fact. He kind of looks over, looks at you, sort of almost like he's going to do something, sees that you're just some kid, and says, "Out of here." And that's a little odd, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, does he look like he's got money?
Uh, looks like he might, but I mean, he's got all these strange furs and pouches.
Oh, okay. Okay. In that case, I'll just kind of like make a mental note of it. Um, give him a nod and head on my way.
Mm-hmm. So, across the street, there is the copes of children, the urchins and such. You see above all of them, like Margil, DeHaans, everybody, all the little urchin children, but above all is Bois. Because you see Bois, when he was younger, his parents had to have a lie down because they weren't feeling too good, and they never got back up from that lie down, and they took him to the temple when they collected the bodies, but he ran away.
Mm,
Bois is bigger and more dexterous than you, even though he's younger. And more importantly, he knows that you are a man who knows how to find succor. So Bois is your like absolute agent, your right hand. If you ask him to do something, Bois is going to do it because he knows. You know, we can, and you see there's people out gathering from like these like nets in the water because there is the bloom, which by the way, you know this and you live with it every day, so you don't care. This place reeks because of the river bloom. This stuff that you see staining these nets and everything they're gathering. And Bois sees you and He's like, Li Wei, and someone sees that when you come out, and it is in fact old man Fa Yushen sitting in his doorway as he always does. He notes that you haven't come by the normal way. He looks over at you.
Hey.
And he gives you like a very old man look, like halfway between like fond and appraising, and yeah, he just says, he looks at you and says, "Up a little late, aren't we, Chun Zhaoxi?"
Oh yeah, of course. Sometimes you're working late into the night. You just got to get your rest, you know?
Working. He nods and he shakes his finger and just says, "Listen, young Master Chun,
Yeah.
you are blessed with a good name. Don't take it for granted. No matter what you find busking or whatever else you're up to, you won't find anything that can buy a good name."
Blessed. As if I've been blessed by anything over here, old man.
Damn, and he says, "Ah, you forget yourself. Are you truly going to disrespect your elders?" And like the peasants are walking by, nobody gives a shit about this conversation. The Scordian strangers definitely aren't. Bois by this time has run up behind you. Hans and Marguerite are fighting over something in the alleyway. Aiko has absolutely disappeared. And Bois runs up to you and he tugs at your sleeve and he says, Li Wei, over here."
Yeah.
And,
Sir, I've got some business to take care
yeah,
of.
so Yushen sort of like gives you an offhanded wave and drinks his tea and says, "Don't forget what I've said."
Yeah. What's up,
And
Bois?
and Bois like, "All right, Li Wei." He points across the river and he says, "There's three strangers, Scordian strangers. They've got axes and spears and bows, and they arrived shortly after the herald came through, saying that Yannick is going to be going on his quest. Yeah, they always ride under the bridge when they do that."
Yannick. Okay. They seem pretty important.
Well, I mean, Yannick is, but these guys, I mean, I don't know. Scores mostly come to do business. My parents, well, I mean, they used to talk about how evil they were because, my family used to have a farm before the Vikings came. I was just a baby. I don't remember. But, yeah, that's why my family always loved our Lord. Sigrun, he saved us. Save what was left, anyway. But that's why the emeralds are important. I don't know what those scores. Mostly they just come by here because they're merchants. I mean, these guys are probably just here to do merchant stuff. Although I don't think they're here to buy any river bloom, and I don't know what else we have to sell.
Okay. Do they
And
seem
they stacked some
dangerous?
boxes that they had with them in the
Boxes?
alleyway, which is a little strange.
Well, I think we should take a look at these boxes.
Oh, I agree. What should I do? What should I do, Li Wei? You're the one with the plan.
Look, here's what I'm thinking. If the boxes are there, I mean, I hate to say it, you're stronger than I am, you're faster than I am. I think you should focus on grabbing the boxes. I'll be the distraction.
It's a great plan. All right.
Yeah.
And was like, all right, let's do it. Meanwhile, clop. Oh, what's that? Is that Emerald Bloom playing? Is that the approach? Yes. Yannick and Fazil. You find yourselves coming round the bend. You've descended from the vast... It's like you zigzag triangles over murder holes of all of the defenses that Ufosa the Builder has built up in your grand castle to defend it. Until finally you come through the bottom gate, and you're in Old Town, out on the market square, and you do the circle of the castle. The traditional circle of the castle. Every House Emerald member has done who knows how fucking long since they had the bridge, basically, when they go on their nightly quest. And y'all two have arrived in Underbridge. Now, Yannick, you've probably been around here before. You've avoided this place in particular. Old Town is the town that surrounds, like, there's like a small inner wall to the city, and it boxes in the castle. It's the kind of place where you can get out and you can maybe get to a pub at night, and you don't have to get by an extra layer of guards at the inner. Oh my God! On his horse in the Old Town Road. Yes, he is. Could you give me your best ride so you can't no more?
Oh man.
So yeah, y'all are riding in, and like it's an assault on your nostrils, which is why you don't come by here. You saw that there was some sorghum being grown in an inner city plot along the canals later on. And this place is like kind of there might be a phantom. There might be a phantom Yannick. Don't worry, I'll kill your doppelganger. He's dead.
This is what we were just saying, right? With the eyes.
He'll
Right,
banish
this
his
is-
alternate.
This is it. This is it.
Right.
You called it.
All right, Artax.
One of you's been hiding a television screen around here or something.
Please clear all mount data. All right. Well, either way, you ride in on your steed. Oh my God. Post processing is not finished.
This thing has post processing.
So Cha Cha rides on. Artax catches a little on some of the mud, rears back, and like clearly lets you know like, why are we here? This place smells nasty.
I don't smell anything.
And token attacher's post process is not finished. If you switch the scene before, you need to use the TA delete missing links macro. Aye. So let's pretend for now that this is actually Yannick and his steed. We ignore the fact there's a doppelganger.
Oh God.
Oh,
We ignore the phantom Artax that won't
Happening.
delete. Alright, so y'all ride. You ride across the stone bridge, comes over a canal. You see people like peasants like fishing in the filth for this like green bloom stuff that comes up around. There's an acrid scent to it, and it's used in some products. And in fact, there is some sorghum-based liquor from the green sorghum down below that you pass by the sorghum fields of that you've drunk at the local places. It's not bad, it's liquor. There's lots of peasants up ahead. They clear as they look up and they say, Yannick, it's Yannick Emerald. And everybody's noticing you. The crowd is sort of splitting. And Yannick, how are you looking as you just walk through, like you ride through town? People are like, oh, there's doing a horse. And they're like, oh shit, he's him. Because they realize, because the announcements just happened, like, that's Yannick Emerald. So like, you're not dodging who you are this time.
oh shit! It's that boy.
Don't ever talk to me or that boy again. So as we kind of come around the corner, obviously I got my nose squinched up like, oh wow, that is a scent to remember. But then I start to see the people, and I wipe that off, and I kind of put myself as erect as possible, and I smile. Like it's not a fake smile. It's my mother just got done telling me to remember that these are my people, or will be my people someday. So put your best face forward, and it's kind of clicking in my head that these are like the smile's legit, because it's like I will protect these people someday.
Yeah, and some of the people are great, and one of them actually shouts a few verses from a popular song. Oh, upon the emerald's cliffs there dash the slaughter of the scourge. Oh, remember House Emerald, defender of the realm, defenders of the realm. And several people, some people actually bow. One person straight prostrates themselves. Like, there are some people who were very excited to see you. Other people couldn't give less of a shit. It's Tuesday. They're walking.
The ones that we passed that they're bowing. It's a rise. Stand.
And they stand and they're like, yeah, yes, my young master.
And so I'm I kind of glance over, and I'm kind of like, this. I whisper to Fazl, it's like, this is almost a little uncomfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a little strange having a bunch of eyes on you, but just remember, these are all your people.
Of course.
Give them a little one of those royal waves. a little smile, maybe say something a little reassuring to him.
My people, I go upon my quest. I will return as I forgot the name, as a knight of this realm. Say what's the name again?
Oh, Ritter.
Say it. Spell it for me.
Ritter.
Got it.
Yeah.
I will return a Ritter.
And they're like, whoa, yes! And someone's like, that's our boy there. He's going to come back. Yannick the Ritter. He's going to earn his stripes. And someone says, his father Sigurd was never a man to stand on ceremony or birth. And everyone seems very approving. People, broadly speaking, at least the people who seem to care are like the fans of your father. And you're riding. Meanwhile, Li Wei, so you've hatched the plan, right? You know what the plan is. And there's a great distraction. Because, you know, this guy, you've seen him before. This Yannick is riding down the street. And Bo is coming around. And as he does, you notice the guy who was by the alleyway isn't there anymore. In fact, as you look up, hey, is he on the roof?
Huh.
That's a little odd, no, isn't it? And as you notice, one of the, this peasant, kind of gets kicked, and this guy says, get out of here. And the peasant's like, oh. And he goes to the other side, this guy, this squatting stranger, you couldn't help but notice is wearing leather armor under his furs, is casting a good gaze around the base of this bridge cleat. And the other guy seems to be on the roof of one of these houses.
Okay. At this point, has Bois been able to get it to any of the crates?
Bois is like, so here's what Li Wei can see. Li Wei sees that you got eyes on these crates here, right?
Right.
They're in here. You know that Bois has gone around the corner. He's gonna grab some shit, and you note something. The crates are kind of opened in a very useless way, jammed into the mud, and they don't look like they have sacks in them. But give me a perception.
Okay, let's go. All right, that is gonna be an 8.
You see a dusting of something stone, maybe raw ore, but no one brings ore to this part of town. Roll me an insight.
Okay, let's go. It's weird.
Hey,
16.
Li Wei, there's a rich, important kid riding down the street. 3 members of a culture his dad is known for butchering in a big battle around here, and they've planted a big, useless tower of boxes filled with rocks in one of the escape paths. And there are 3 of them flanged out in position to, oh my, block the road in either direction. And that dude with the face tattoos, he looks pretty serious.
Okay. All right. So I've got Bois, who's kind of slipped around. Are any of my other
the urchins? The other urchins are fighting over half of a crusty looking rice cake in the north.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. That dwarven coin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it in trying to throw over where the other urchins are, because I want them to hear that clink and move away. I want them to get out of there.
Okay, so you want them to evacuate the scene, basically.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
So you give a hard toss, they hear the clink, they see a coin and say, oh my gosh, a coin! And one of them says, that looks like the ones that Eco was getting. And they rush off. And so you've dispatched the rest of the orphans with a single shot. One of these squatting strangers sees you do that and says, you got enough money to be throwing away cash, boy? And he seems stunned almost enough by the fact that you've done that to say something at this moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm someone important, clearly.
And he says, whatever, get the fuck out of here, now.
What? Why?
He walks up to you, plants one hand on your chest, and says, now. And he fucking, shoves you with your back to the river. He's trying to canal Spartan, this is Sparta you. So you want to give me an acrobatics, perhaps, to tumble that one out of the way?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Hey, Prince, looks like one of your
Now,
an altercation going on
Yeah.
against one of your subjects over there.
you hear it, but note, the line of sight is blocked between you and there.
I've got a dirty 20 on that.
Yeah,
that
you-
I
acrobatics.
like that term.
You expertly roll around this motherfucker. And the guy on the roof says, "Ignore the kid," and he backs up and he says, "You're going to regret this." And this guy, he's got a spear and nearby, and he picks it up. And Yannick and Fazl are still riding down the street. I don't know if Fazl or Yannick would be in front if you guys are right next to each other.
I'd be like riding behind it. And before, I was a little bit on this like little thingy right here. Oh wow, I love the little ping system. I was a little. I feel like Fazl's up here. He might not have seen the whole altercation, but like, I don't know. Can I roll perception to just
I mean, you heard it. You heard
kind
it.
of? Okay, yeah. And sometimes he can pick up on like a bad vibe in a town,
Give
city,
me
stuff
insight
like that.
for the
So,
vibe
yeah.
check.
Insight, yeah, vibe check. There we go. Does this work how I think it works? Yes, it does. Wow, nice.
Oh,
Basil, you ride under the bridge and vibe's fine. So y'all are riding under the bridge. You do note there's a woman who's wearing a fuzzy cap. Seems a bit warm for this weather. You're under the shadow of the bridge. Just the archers high above couldn't shoot down to where you are. And
Nice hat.
and she kind of looks.
Look over.
She kind of looks at you with like an absolute shark's grin, and she doesn't say anything. But she kind of like adjusts the bag she has with her. And Li Wei, you see this shit about to go down. You see Yannick in the crosshairs. What's your play? This is the moment. This is the moment
right.
of truth.
all right. At this moment, like recognizing that Bois is probably back in that barricade area trying to get a hold of these useless things.
Mm-hmm.
Li Wei is gonna do what he normally does when it's like, okay, we got to get out of here. There's trouble. And Li Wei is gonna take out his flute and play the sharpest, shrillest noise he can, just as like an alarm to be like, we got to get out of here.
So give me a performance.
All right.
Not just because like he understands. So vibing, you can call me Itachi. I'm nice. Sorry, I'm not doing a great keeping of the chat, but Judge Wolf is doing an amazing job. Yeah. So you let forth a.
Oh, it's a
Ironically, that's
natural
perfect
one.
because you make it as bad as possible. It's like so annoying. Bois like fucks off so hard he doesn't. He just pushes open this door and comes into this house instead. He's like hopping out this window next.
Fazl, you said there's an altercation up ahead. Perhaps it was just bad music.
Yeah. With that tonement, Li Wei. So you sent the alarm. You hear Yannick say that to this goblin. You two were say anything else in the final. This dude with the spear behind him is bringing it to bear. The dude on the roof is standing up fully. The Fazl, you start to see the woman behind you. She's smiling at you real big, and she's reaching for something in her bag.
Snap.
Well, the
Okay.
song wasn't that bad. Jeez.
So
So do we see this guy with the spear?
you do. You begin to see him. The thing is, he's holding the spear around the corner of like to the north of you is this like the cleat of like there's a huge fuck off bridge over your head, right? And, like,
Right.
he's one of like the struts. And he's like you see him looking at you though. He's a dude. He's got furs and some armor on. He looks like maybe a northern rangery kind of guy. And he looks right at you, dead at you.
That would be too odd for me. The sword would be coming out of the sheath. Fazl,
Oh,
ready yourself.
The sickle's already out.
This doesn't look
Yeah, and so you hear.
And I think it's gonna be a kicking Artax into high gear.
So in this moment, you hear, you unsheath your blade, and they let out a scream because they're not letting you go that easy. As they say, yes, for the gods of Clan Zilfug. As the fucking combat track kicks on. Hello, friends. It's initiative time. Yeah, it's time to fucking go.
Let's see here. I'm not sure if I know how to do this. Oh, wait.
So if you go up to the little person, you already got it.
Yeah, I can look at 40 if you want, Greg.
No, I think I found it.
Yes, Forlat. Yannick whips out his he whips out his axe and plays Mighty Tune. Alright. So, hello. Smiles over here, and by the way, the blue ring means active turn, the gold ring means up next.
Cute. I like it.
Yeah, so she comes in with an axe against Basil.
Hey, Lee, real quick, you might want to turn down the music just a touch on stream.
Alright, I've adjusted it down. A man weapon actually made this loud music. It's great. I hope that you don't mind me calling this stealth advantage, Greg, because she is ambushing you. But she fucks it up anyway, and she uses Skirmisher's Step to disengage, and she runs back into this little, the cover of this little courtyard, and she's switching over to her spear, and yeah, so she's whipped out an axe at you, hits the stone above you as fast as you duck on your mount, and Li Wei, it's your turn. Li Wei, the violence has commenced.
Yeah.
Reference.
Yeah.
At this moment, Li Wei is thinking okay, the kids are safe, Bois is out of here, but again thinking okay, this is a chance, this is an opportunity. If this is the prince, if this is someone important, maybe if I step in, I might be able to get in good and maybe have some actually good vegetables for once. So Li Wei is gonna he's gonna run forward right next to where this the person with the spear is. And I'd like to try to if I can, I'd like to try to grab hold of the spear to try to kind of grapple him with it, to try to keep him from being able to take a swing.
He's cone of visioned on Yannick, and he's fun fact about history and how weapons line up. If you have a spear and the other dude's on a horse, you're not in a bad space. And he's about to introduce that historical lesson very directly to Yannick. However, Li Wei comes up and grabs at him. Alright, I want you to straight up contest a strength check. This guy's at disadvantage because he literally did not see this coming. He was his vision cone was narrow.
Alright. $12.
Alright, so you two are in a contest. A struggle.
Great.
And you're kind of you're both tumbling for it. You are both contesting who's gonna get to hold the stick, and
Great.
that's your turn, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh, as I'm pulling on that, I'd like to call out, Prince, the roof. There's someone on the roof.
Yeah, Yannick, you look over and you see a Scordian stranger stand. He has tattoos up and down his face. He looks down at you, raised his staff, and says, "You die today!" And he takes a running jump right between you and Basil, and uses Cold Front as an icy blast escapes from him. And how this is going to work is I will tag up all of these and just make these checks for you because you guys and your mount, and I have a little thing that lets me do group tokens in combat, no. Active effects, no. Yes, group ability check, hello, thank you. And it is a con save. The DC is 12. Roll. Alright, so everyone but Fazel passes. Fazel, you are actually okay, so here's the thing. 9 cold damage sweeps out at everyone and everything. But if you passed, which everybody else did, you're taking 4 cold damage. I will damage your mount for you, Judge Wolf. I know you can thank me for it. But you just, pop the -4 on yourself, and Greg pop the -9 on yourself, and yeah, so a huge cold front has come out. This dude is like absolutely going crazy. He looks back at his companion and calls down like a cold glow as Li Wei, you're starting to join them in the frost zone as that spear is getting preternaturally cold, it's crackling with blue energy. And in fact, check it out. Bam! Frosted Fury. It slightly breaks the token, but I don't give a shit.
Oh, snap.
And yeah, so you're deep in it. It's a Scordian Shaman's turn. Or that was his turn, that's his action, the sub-action. Boom. Done. Yannick, you're on a nice ride, feeling good. These are your people. Crazy fucking Vikings top down, splashed you all with cold, and then like fucking buffed the spear of the dude who's trying to shank you. And this guy you've maybe seen out drinking called him out and is trying to wrest the spear away from one of your assassins. Someone just tried to hack an axe into your Boy Scout master, basically his head. What are you doing?
So as this guy jumps down, I kind of startled. My horse kind of rears back just a little bit, and I, give it a kind of forward momentum, and that cold blast kind of hits me. Thankfully, it's not too bad. Just the horse and I were kind of out of the way, and I take a look at Fazel. Are you all right?
I think I'm doing all right.
And then it's like, as soon as I see that he's still up and kicking, that sword's coming back. It's like, you came to the wrong place! And it's coming down at an angle to try and take off the top of his head.
Long old town. Yeah, give me that swing. Reminder, you never killed anything bigger than insect. It has a man's head, but you go for it. Let's see. That is a clean hit. You dap him up. Let's see.
Damage.
Your blade crashes across his face and outs one of his eyes. Blood squishes. You've never seen jelly distend like it cuts. Blood all down his cheek. He screams in pain. You've done that. You feel the thud, the slick, the tickle of the hilt in your hand as you crack harshly through a man's skull. He's still up though. And
so as my sword kind of gets wedged in there a little bit, I rip it back out. You can see the blood fly backwards, and my eyes are massive. Like it's just big white saucers in my face. There's a gritting of teeth, but there's just this absolute mixture of both fear and just primal urge.
Yeah, you strike that fucking hit, and it's combat now. It's first fucking blood, and the Scordian Skirmisher. So the spear is blessed, right? The Scordian Skirmisher lets go of the spear, whips out his hand axe, and just tries to embed it in Li Wei's fucking skull.
Oh. Alright.
Kind of rude.
Oh, goodness.
Wait.
Oh,
Yes, never mind. Never mind. I'm still learning the system. Carry on.
it's all good. Oh wait, shit. Do you want to do something more on your turn?
I did, but if we're already moved on to the next one, I'll save it for the next round.
What was it?
So I get action surge.
You
right?
do. Yes.
So
action
I wanted
yes.
to go ahead and bring that around for another hack and slash on this guy too.
Absolutely. First blood. You're in the zone. You're dilating the pupils. You go for the second strike. Let's see it.
I'm clicking. clicking.
The longsword comes out. It comes back around. It skitters and it crashes. This man, fearing on an animal deep level, his one good eye, racing, seeing you, brings up his quarterstaff, knocks it away like nothing's ever knocked it. Steel to wood, but wood wins. He's fighting for his fucking life and he knows it. And he survives that hit. However, Artak senses your energy, feels the rush, rears back, and just flops the hoof down right at this man's fucking head. And as it would happen, it fucking knocks his head back into the stone with an audible kathunk that cracks it as you see brain and blood as your horse has just killed someone.
Yeah, I was about to say, way to kill steal Artax, you turd.
Artax needs to know to say, "Yo, thank you and your owner."
Well, I guess I still have only killed a bug in my life. That's fine. We'll get there.
So the Scorpion Skirmisher tried to ask you a question. Did he fuck it up or did they not roll it? And that's
you rolled
18.
it.
Oh, he's hitting you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, boy.
that'll
He's hitting
hit.
you. Okay, that's 8 damage. How you doing, Leeway? How you doing? First blood.
That hurts. Like
Your shirt gets
I-
caught as a deep, like, I don't know if you ever split wood and felt the sensation of the axe as the maul comes down, the thud and the reverb, but there's a thud and a reverb, but it's with your bones, and they go, there's blood all over your chest, the shirt is open and bloodied, fuck, you only have one of these, yeah, so, that's the Scorpion Skirmisher's turn. This Scorpion Skirmisher is going to take the Skirmisher's step and come out here.
Okay.
And so they have their hand axe and they're just trying to, at this point, block the path for Yannick as this guy shouts, "Take the shot!" And actually, this blue glow is no longer accurate because you now hold the spear that is glowing blue.
oh snap.
Yeah. So, Basil, you're used to like animals jumping you, but you're getting jumped in the streets today, sir. How do you respond?
Humans just another kind of animal.
Humans just another kind of animal.
So Basil is going to use Hunter's Mark, and for him it's like a bottle of clear liquid, which is probably going to be just like hornet pheromones or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's going to Hunter's Mark on the spear lady.
All right, so she's over here right now, but yeah, you pop it out, you crack it right over her face. She, fuck, and she smells like, what the fuck did you just throw at me? As she goes for her bow. Yeah. So fast, Hunter's marked her.
Then I'm going to attack with the sickle.
All right, so you're gonna ride right in on her and fuck her up.
Yep.
All right, now for reference, I don't know if you're seeing this in your foundry. She's presently like 5-10 feet away, so you're gonna have to ride down here.
Wait. So who's this?
That square is empty right now in the foundry as I see it. You might have to reload, but just if you look at stream right now, it won't spoil you or anything. You'll see.
Let's see. Oh, okay, I see. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna ride down, give her a smack.
All right, you ride out and you go for it. You see she's going for a bow, and you ride out, sickle in hand, hornet's mark upon your foe.
I probably like slash her as I ride.
Oh, drive by, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking
Try to hook her
you
with
knee
like hook a
your
leg or
raptor
something.
in. Cha-cha ride, sickle out. Let's see that attack. She's got a bow, by the way. She's totally lined up a headshot on Yannick as this happens.
I'm not sure if I have input this weapon incorrectly. I'm just gonna roll a d20 and add my for now.
Well, I can very quickly give you from the compendium. It's just a regular
That'd be
sickle,
great.
right?
Yeah, it's just regular sickle.
Yeah. Sickle. Yeah, click the one that has the icon.
Cool.
Do that attack roll.
Do I click the word itself? Or
I always put it in chat. Just the word attack. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
in
click
chat.
on the picture of the weapon, and it'll come up in the chat, attack, damage.
oh,
and then
okay.
you click
I
on
see. I've
attack.
clicked it a bunch of times. My bad.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that hits.
nice.
Give me the damage. It slices, it catches on like the top of her bow, you force it down, and it hacks up towards her neck. You almost take off her ear, blood running free, but you don't take her down. You want us to ride by?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
So you maintain the threat. You maintain the threat on her.
Yep.
Okay. She knows this is happening, but she sees that her opportunity to win this is fading fast. So, despite everything, she holds the line, and she uses aim shots, putting all of her movement and action to make a +2 short bow attack.
Can I?
At disadvantage because you are putting threat on her. Oh yes?
If she moves, can I? Oh, she doesn't break range.
No, she's leaning out like the entryway of this, but you're threatening, so she's at disadvantage.
Gotcha.
All right. So anything with proc or no? Okay. Shake a shot disadvantage. Hey, guess what, buddy? You hear something really powerful in your ear. That was an arrow sliding right past your skull, Yannick.
Duck.
And so that's the Scordian Stranger's turn. Basically, she had to sacrifice her movement and everything to do it. Li Wei, you have a spear glowing with the frosted ice of a dead Northman in your hands, and an enemy is trying to kill your meal ticket with an axe. What do you do?
All right. I'm gonna charge forward and try to stab this guy.
All right. Well, you get with the horse here, you get flanking. So advantage,
snap.
baby. And
Okay.
I'm guessing you don't have a spear, but I will give you one really fast.
Oh, I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And yeah, you'll be making this attack with advantage as you ride in, weapon high, ready to slay your foe.
I'm imagining the
Rushing
advantage
on the
comes.
bow and stab up.
Imagine the advantage comes from the guy trying not to get like hit from the back from like the horse kick.
Yeah, alright.
yeah,
So you
absolutely.
strike. This dude is in front of you. He's reared up. Yannick, he's at you with the axe, about to rush right in and hack you. And he goes, "What?" As you see a little metal and a cold, crackling ice pop through. And yeah, that is an extra. So give me your damage, and I'll roll the extra 2d4 for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
That's
the
fine.
air escapes the lungs, and like it looks like the guy's like gonna maybe live, but barely. He's gonna go down or whatever. And as it turns out, that's not what happens. As you hear, as the air in his lungs get sucked up and turned to icicles and crystallize, as the spear embedded in this fucker's chest has just frozen around and iced out his lungs. He hits the ground dead as fuck.
Oh my gosh. When that happens, I'd let go of the spear and I'm like, oh my, I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yeah, a man is dead. You just killed him.
This is also Li Wei's first kill.
Yeah.
Well, you and Artax can be, have a drink together later, okay?
Yeah. Well, high five.
Artax, other people just don't know what it's like. So yeah, it's your turn, and there's someone trying to put bolts through your head behind you. The master of the hunt is presently trying to slice at her. Her ear is in half ruined, blood rolling. You're not sure if it's hate or determination in her eyes, but she's fucking, in spite of all of it, going to knock another arrow. You know how this fucking goes.
So I wheel the horse around and I see Li Wei, and I kind of glance down and I look back up at him and I give him a quick nod, like as in thank you, and recognition kind of hits me at that point, but there's some business to take care of right now. So it's going forward with the reins in one hand and the long sword up, ready to just fucking swing down and hopefully pop that head right
A
off.
supportive child on an upper floor of a hovel watching this shouts, "Yeah, Nick!" All right, so I'll be that shot.
You remember, I'm the dad, right? I do the dad jokes.
You're the dad, you're the
Stop
dad.
stealing my dad jokes.
All right, so you roll in, and unfortunately for
Christ.
you, Artax and Cha-Cha getting a bit of a Cha-Cha slide, as it's known, with the horse and the raptor sort of getting you wind up ching, hitting the upper level of this courtyard entryway. She's like point blank with the bow and arrow, and you think she might just underhand stab into your fucking throat at this rate. Do it. So Yannick, any bonus actions or anything you want to do? Do you want to try and step away?
I already used my move. I can only use the swift action once.
You can split move and shoot in the system, so you could back off. Normally the risk for that is opportunity attacks, but she has a ranged weapon in her hand. She can't off you with it when she wants to like punch you.
But being engaged in melee puts her at disadvantage, right? To
For
shoot
shooting,
a weapon.
yeah.
No, I'm crowding her as much as I can,
you're
and I'm
crowding her.
trying. I'm like, Artax, go for 2, buddy, go for 2, and I'm like,
Artax kind of like
picking Artax in.
you
to
must
start
fight
pushing
your
him
own
in.
battles, my boy.
I'm crowding that. I mean, you got to think about how big a horse is. I don't know if you, Lee. I know you've ridden one. It's
Oh yeah, I
how
know, sir.
big they are. Having that
Yeah.
massive of an animal
But
next to you
actually,
is got to be terrifying.
Something reminds you. You remember something. You don't die here. You've seen the moment of your death. You realize that you have the ability to, on any attack roll going to or from yourself, and any save coming to or from you, once for a long rest, just say nope and have it re-rolled. Would you like to? Nope.
Nope, haven't re-rolled. So I swing down and hit that, clang it. And I'm like, and I kind of that vision comes back to me for a moment as I think about seeing myself as an old man married, and this is not the place that I die. And I take it back, and instead of swinging, I stab forward.
And she shouts something bitter and curseful at you, Norton, in some incomprehensible Northern tongue, as your blade plunges
Into the wall.
Oh. She looks down. The weapon goes loose in her hand. Her eyes roll up at you. And she pushes herself forward onto your sword. A hand reaches out to try and grab at you as it all goes limp and shakes. And she chokes up blood, wilts on the end of your blade. And as she falls off, there's a wet squishing of blood. And she's fucking dead, homie.
So as she kind of slides off the blade, I pull it back, and anybody watching can see the tip of this thing is shaking uncontrollably. And I look over at Basil, and I just kind of like, I'm starting to shake uncontrollably, and
Artax
are you okay?
Are you?
Are you? I'm fine.
I'm good.
You? And I point. I kind of wheel the horse around, and I point at Li Wei.
I mean, you're kind of shaking here, but you're still alive, so.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
It's
Someone
just
goes,
a cold,
someone.
Basil. It's just a cold, Basil. It's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, because under attack.
Why are you running, Prince? It's not like they're gonna throw you in the dungeon.
For leeway,
Take a
it's
deep
just force
breath.
of habit. It's like, oh no, I've done something horrible. I have to go.
You
We
know
have to run.
something, Yannick, is you're like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. First of all, are you going to continue on the set path? Are you going to like ride into the bridge and fuck off? Or are you turning around?
There's no turning around. I can't go home until I
Correct.
pass my quest.
That's how
But
the quest works.
I do. It's kind of hitting in my head. I look over at Li Wei, and I'm like, do you know who these people are?
No idea. We gotta go.
We're fine. We're fine. They're all dead.
What?
We're fine.
Well, that's
I'm
the
fine.
problem. We
How are
killed
you?
people.
They attacked us. What
Have
what's
you
gonna
never
happen?
killed anyone before? Both
No.
of you?
No, Basil!
No.
It's fine. You're allowed. I mean, you are. I don't know about you guys.
What?
You're allowed. Hold on a second. You're allowed. It's okay. You're
I
fine.
imagine at the crib there's the birth certificate and the license to kill for every 8-year-old baby. That's how Sigrun runs this
Anyway.
shit, okay?
Is that not
I
what
remember
nobility
you.
is?
I know you. I know you. What's your name? I'm trying to focus in on something now so that I can get my brain out of the fact that there are dead people all over the ground. I'm just looking at this man that, basically helped save my life. So I know you.
It's Lee Wei. We met before. Bob, right?
Yes, Bob. No, Yannick. I think you know.
I suspected.
I'm sure that you did. Do you know who these people are? I asked you that. No, I asked you that. Okay, we're fine.
Look, we can. My house is pretty close by. I can get you some kanji if you like that. Just a little porridge, little rice porridge, mostly water. But maybe calm down a little bit.
I look at Basil
sounds cool.
to see what he's thinking. Basil,
Your tactical assessment is it is time to get out of this neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I think we could probably leave this neighborhood. It's pretty bad, but
Oh, I live
What was
here
that?
though. Hold on.
then just come with us. Just come with us. If my father's men show up, I will tell them you saved us. Just come with us.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
know
on
something?
board.
There are 2 mounts between 3 people. But there's room on our sides.
Get on the back,
Oh,
baby.
hell yeah. Let's
All
go.
right. So you
Let's
reach
go.
out a hand to your new companion?
Yes.
Li Wei, you see before you an ascent, not just to the top of this horse, not just from poverty, but to the top of that fucking hill you lived in the shadow of your entire life.
Nice.
Because this is Yannick Emerald. Let's fucking go. You also do.
Yes.
Come
Might
with
take
me
it
if
out
you
of here.
want to get out of here.
Yes.
So, you
oh yeah,
guys
for sure.
ride. You ride. You fuck all the way off. In time, you spur through the gates of the town and the city, and you come upon the road. The road has growing hills before you, and you find yourself gazing out at it as Lee remembers that the road is daytime, so there should be light. And then, as God willed it, so it So, this is the time for an important question. It's 9:39. Does anybody gotta take the 5-minute here?
Basil could use the bathroom, yeah.
All right, call a quick five. 9:44. We're back on, and I am going to hit us to BRB and audio mute us.
Word. What's awesome about this is I can leave
Good catch, good catch, good catch. Thank you, Parker. So, the three of you get out of the city. You ride. Fazil breaks it down on Cha-Cha. And you guys ride, and you arrive at no particular destination. You're out there, and you guys find yourselves, well, in the countryside. You're headed west towards the place, but you don't experience the world from Google Maps. You see the hills in front of you, the road around you, and that's the... Oh my god.
That's
I'm
so
sorry,
good.
the beat is just too dirty. Like I can't help but get down.
Hold on.
I had to bust it open right quick.
One moment,
you know?
one moment. I've got, as I narrate the travel, it's present. We have the Fazil cam up, so by all means. So you travel the lands, you ride hard, and you find yourselves crossing the land. And Li Wei, do you think that you've really been outside the city?
No. I imagine that, like, I mean, he's so stuck in terms of, like, I mean, his circumstances. He doesn't want to listen to what his parents keep telling him, and he's thinking that the city is the key to be able to rise up, to be able to make money, to be able to take money. But now, actually being out here, it's majestic in a way that Li Wei didn't expect. He was thinking, oh, I mean, what would I do outside the city? There's no money to be made there. And then it's like, maybe there's more to life.
Maybe there is more to life. And as you have that thought, you guys ride out. And you know that your destination is Steinbridge, which is, a few days ride into the countryside. And you have Li Wei with you now. And is there any sort of a conversation that ever solidifies, like, yeah, I guess I'm, like, on a quest now? Or does Li Wei just kind of, like, say, oh, hello, and you guys just roll with it?
Well, I definitely agree that it's a lot more majestic and nice out here. And that's the thing. Once you finally get out into the pastures and whatnot, you don't really need the money.
Yeah, oh goodness. But there's a part of me that's always gonna want to taste, right? Never had it before.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about civilization and being close to fresh beer.
Yeah.
It's the one thing this place is missing. Yeah, really, it's not really a beer tree.
Oh, if only.
I lean over the horse and I throw up. Literally, like that just happens. I'm kind of like wiping my mouth and like.
Li Wei, you are directly behind this man as he is spilling.
I aim on purpose, like to make sure that I don't cover Li Wei.
Are you okay?
We just killed people back there.
Yeah. We
Oh
did.
yeah.
How
should
can
take
you be
notes
so
on that
blasé about this, Fazil? I mean, I understand you're the master of the hunts, and you've obviously killed many a beast, but men, women,
Well,
children.
I mean, what really helps is having like a liquid breakfast or soup or something in the morning, so that if you are gonna puke, it's just easier. But I don't know. It's all meat at the end. It's not like we cut down a tree or anything. I don't know what the big deal is. They attacked you. And...
I understand duty, and I understand a need to do things. Right? These are things that have been beaten into me since I was barely able to walk. But a bird doesn't think or feel or worry about, whether or not its husband or wife will come home to it at night.
That's right. Yeah.
But those men came at me, very likely based on who they, or at least who they appeared to be, in order to hurt my father in some way.
It looks like it.
They will never go home. We have
No,
killed thinking.
Probably not. I mean, hopefully.
Sorry, I can't do it.
Well, see, the thing, my prince, is a bird can't choose whether to attack people. Really, it just does or doesn't. But they could choose.
I
and they
suppose
did.
that. Yeah. I suppose that they maybe felt that they couldn't. Maybe they followed the same instinct.
I don't know.
How many people have you killed, Basil?
Oh,
The Basil body count flies by on screen.
I kind of like look back over my shoulder at Lee Wei, like I'm
pause.
learning things today.
The pause is very telling.
I suppose that's not something that you should ever ask somebody. I apologize, Basil. This is your first time out of the city, Lee Wei.
whoa. Sorry, man.
No, please, Basil. I'm sorry that I asked. That is not something that you should ask somebody. Please,
It was a kind of a loaded question.
I've heard it said that to ask somebody if they've killed somebody in combat, that you will think of them differently no matter what their answer is.
In combat. Yeah.
All right.
He's just
Yeah.
master of the assassin's guild.
Yeah, in combat, totally.
Kill people in
That's,
battle.
yeah. That's.
One of these days, my prince, we're going to talk about risk assessment.
I'm glad you're with me, Basil.
Yeah. Me too.
So, your first time out of the city.
Yeah. Not really in the situation to vacation very much. But it's kind of nice out here.
Well, given the situation, I would think it behoove me to properly ask you. I mean, you rode out with us in order to avoid the guards and possible any implication that you had a hand in things. We are on a quest. I have been dispatched with Basil here to slay a beast in the Steinbridge. Would you accompany us? My mother actually, to be honest, I feel like my mother foresaw something like this, a meeting in ways. And would you join us, or should we stop somewhere and allow you to go on your way?
Lee Wei is about to hesitate, and his mind, he's just thinking of a beast. I've never dealt with a beast before. I might have to kill something again. But then he immediately thinks okay, he's talking about the queen. He's talking about all these the riches, the finery that Lee Wei's always wanted. And he snaps, says, "Yes, of course. I would love to. My life is at your command."
You of course will be rewarded for your actions.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
I know. I would.
Is its own reward.
I would
Please.
Insist. This is an important thing.
Well, if you insist, then sure, I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah. So did you ride. Your companions thus formed a trio of adventurers. You find your ways out, and you find a town. There's a castle, one solid circular keep, and a ring of outer walls. You arrive in Logar. It's a post town. You know about these. Yannick, your grandfather, taught you about infrastructure. The Kehoe built them originally. It's it's a row of houses right up against the street. It's a nice paved road here. It's better than the paved roads that you found elsewhere. And there's services. There's an open tavern where people are on benches with their food. There's a ghost art tax in there. Ignore that. And there is a hard, all right angle turn in the street, forcing you to come to a slow, this market square sort of area. This little cop shop, little lean-to where some Ruthers are. And there are archers on the wall. Some of them look like they might be Ruthers themselves. Some of them look like they could be just like peasant soldiers, and you know they see you come up, and an officer walks up and says, "Oh yeah, Wall, do you have anything to declare here at the post town?" You know it's for taxes. He looks you over and says, "You don't look like you're carrying cargo though. If I ask your business?" And actually, Yannick, I have a question. So you changed to your breastplate, yeah?
I don't have a breastplate in my inventory, but I would do so.
I will breastplate. But I mean, you didn't defy your father's command.
That's a loaded question. Yeah, no, I
I can breast you real quick.
just like F you, attitude a one. No, I would be wearing the old breastplate.
Yeah. Seriously, it's actually, he looks at it closer. He says, "Oh, I see the crest of House Emerald." And he looks at you and like a little more of your clothing. You realize like, "Oh, forgive me. I address a member of the house." And he bows a little and he says, "Of course, you are free to travel as you will and are free from all custom and duties." And he steps to the side.
My thanks, sir. Has any? How would we describe those? Where was the location that those men that attacked us from? I forgot the
Scordians, Scords. Yeah.
Has anyone of Scordian descent been through here as of late?
Scordians? No, our river's too shallow for longboats. Our river's too shallow for longboats, my liege. And he calls me my liege, even though you're technically not his liege yet. And he's like, they're too shallow for longboats, and they're traders. They tend to keep to the boats. No, we haven't seen any scores. Not since, Jans. Yeah, Jans, you were at that battle, right? Oh, yes. It's been 10 long years. I was there when we pressed down onto the beaches. Yeah, well, no scores around here.
I see. Is there any place that we could rest here?
Of course. The roadside tavern, but if I call upon my liege, I'm sure he could offer you a room.
I give a side glance at Fazel.
Room sounds pretty cushy.
How far are we from like
Steinbridge? Like literally, like you can see like in the horizon, you can see the bridge of Steinbridge. This town isn't too far from it. You could get over there, but it is late, so you could rest and then go.
We want to be at our best to hunt and kill a beast.
Very good, Prince. My Prince.
Foods and bellies, a little bit of rest, I think, will do us good, and then we will take care of this in the morning.
All right, so you guys head to and I'll show you. He walks you through town, and because I'm vain and I like to show maps. You guys, you walk through. There's the hard right angle. You estimate this guy has like maybe 25 soldiers in his company. They're pretty good. The house has been built off the road, but mostly they're wall to wall on the road. And there's this tall, it's like 15-foot wall that like juts into here that they can shoot up and down the lane with. It's a strong fortification. And the officer leads you up until the gate. He announces you and he says, "Oh, what is your name particularly, sir?" Forgive me, I do not recognize you. I've not been to the capital.
Yannick Emerald.
Yannick Emerald has arrived! And there's like and suddenly like, of course! And you see a man who comes out. He's got two dudes behind him. One guy who's just sort of like wearing a coat. One dude who's wearing
I can't see anything. What happened?
God, please plunge me into the abyss. Hold on.
No! Bring me back!
And you see like a Jew who looks older and more wise. And there's two men who have katana and wakizashi at their hip, and they're flanking him as bodyguards. This dude's next to him says, "Ah, Lord Yannick, my liege Yannick, oh Graf, and yes, this is my lord, Gaishut Oberon." And Oberon says, "Of course, Lord Oberon, a pleasure to meet you, Yannick Emerald. Come, what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?"
We are merely passing through on our way to Steinbridge. We require a place to stay for the eve if we could.
Of course, my home is open to you. Steinbridge, you say? Steinbridge. What brings you there, my good sir?
We are actually trying to find a beast that has murdered several individuals.
It's terrible. I've heard tale of this. Now, my lord, I would love to assist you, but there is a slight matter that complicates things.
Indeed.
Well, you see, once, in years past, that village was subject to my domain. I'm baron, I have some knights under me. But, you see, after the battle, which was some valorous deeds by a certain man, they gained immediacy. And the bridge, well, it hasn't been very well guarded from bandits ever since. As you can see, I do a great job maintaining infrastructure. But things over there, well... He kind of like doesn't say it out loud, but he says, well, my liege could consider that, well, when my liege sees the situation there, perhaps you could consider putting in a word with your father about who would be the best custodian.
Well, I will take this into heart and keep it in mind. I will also speak to those in charge of Steinbridge, and perhaps we can ensure that they, if they continue to be custodians, ensure that they are properly taking care of bandits that may be in the area.
Of course, we appreciate this great. And he nods. He's very happy to be talking to you. And he seems pretty hyped. All that said and done, you guys spend the night here, gain the benefits of a long rest. There's a button for you on your sheet. And nothing of great import happens here. I mean, you note that while it's like Li Wei, you're like, wow, there's like furs and big beds and rugs and that. Like to you, Yannick, this is kind of like, this is a bit of a downgrade with all the stuffiness of a castle. It's a decent fortification, but you know,
Oh my gosh.
it's basically your kingdom's version of a pilot gas station. So, you guys in the morning, you ride out. You see that two of the guards had already left. Yes.
Before Basil leaves, he'll like to collect some toilet paper and maybe some silverware or two.
They have like local
Sponges.
leaves that they use, but so you go for the silverware.
I mean, enough for myself, but I'm definitely swapping out my fancy one. I'm swapping out an old one for a fancy one for sure.
Okay, so like from the castle, like you're like this is the take one leave one tray. Is how you use the silverware tray, right? Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna treat it. I'm gonna leave my wooden one there and take a silver one.
Herr sees this and says, "A gracious gift, sir. You are the master of the hunt, are you not?
Yeah.
A pleasure to host you and fine young Yannick. Tell me, Pastor of the Hunt Basil, now in Christ, do you know if Yannick has a girlfriend, shall we say?"
You know,
Oh,
I haven't kept up with him since he was about 8, so he
Well,
might, or he might not.
You know, my good lord does have a nephew who is quite the comely lass. So, you know, if you're ever looking for someone for a function to go as a date, you know.
Well,
why
do you have a portrait?
Oh yes, and he pulls out like a sketch of her. She looks. The sketch ain't bad.
Wow.
Hey,
Yes, they're around the same age. Well, keep it in mind.
Well-
Keep it in mind.
I'll let you know if he decides to keep it in his left pocket or his right pocket.
Indeed. And with that, you ride for it the next day. You come to the Steinbridge of Steinbridge, and you see, oh hey, it's two guys from earlier. The older man comes out and says, Graf Emerald, it is a pleasure to see you. And he does a proper bow and everything. The dude in the hat and the raincoat kind of looks at you like, and he says, Kurai, show respect. This is our master's master. Oh, there's a master in between, but you know. And Kurai kind of like chews a reed that he picked earlier, and he says, hey, I know who he is. he steps aside.
Am I? Can I vibe check here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it
I'm like-
insight. Give it insight.
I'm just like,
Good night.
what? I didn't like shit in your house or anything, man. Like, why are you all talking? Like, why are you all so nasty with me?
So, here's
Oh,
the
what
vibe.
do you cut me?
So, Iki goes and says, I am Iki. They call me the Yojimbo. There's no need for my family name. I'm a famous bodyguard, presently in the employ of Oberon, my master. And here is my sprightly young companion, Korai Kage. He says, hey. And he says, oh, Korai, your youthful bashfulness. It will mature away from you, and you will become a talkative old man like I am one day. And, yeah, you see that both of them are wearing a wakizashi and a katana, but you would note that Korai is wielding them as if though one is his primary and one is his secondary. But, Iki has them sort of in a different configuration. He rests one hand on one of his hilts, and he says, yes, our liege has deployed us to defend the bridge. In light of the fact that there have been attacks by beasts lately and other issues, he thought it best that we come and assist.
It seems a little strange that a bodyguard would be sent out to murder things on a hunt, don't you think?
Oh, well, I'm only supposed to defend the bridge. Kurai says he does have a point, though. Bodyguards can only guard bodies, not bridges. And Iko says, well, Kurai, it is the case that we have pledged our loyalty to the man in Baron Oberon, and he's quite good to us. And he's asked this of us, so of course we oblige. And it is nothing dishonorable in it, and Kurai kind of spits out his reed and says, whatever. And what you get is that, like, Iki is very respectful, he's an old man, but also you shouldn't fuck with him. Because, like, behind his, like, old man demeanor, he's a fucking killer. You see the same eyes behind his lid as the Scordian woman, whose sword rammed through her body, reached up to try and grab your throat. That same fight is in his eyes. You don't think he goes down easy. This dude, Kurai, it's nothing about you or anybody else. You just think he hates being here, and he kind of resents it. He kicks the dirt, and he says, I think we were better off as Ronin, Iki. And he says, come now, Kurai, you don't mean that. And Kurai says, he has us guarding the bridge. Yannick here just said it. We're bodyguards. Come on. How am I going to achieve my ambition warding off what? A couple bandits and collecting coins from merchants?
Hold. I'm not to say that your duties aren't important. I mean, if you think about the people who would be coming across this bridge, right? You are protecting the citizenry. There is nothing more important than that.
Absolutely.
And then I look at Iki and I say, sir, I do not want to pull you from your duties. I think that your duty is supposed to be here, and I believe that having you here at our backs, protecting this bridge so that we can return safely in case we miss anything, is by far more important than having you with me. I have two of the finest warriors I've ever met with me, and I think we will be fine in this hunt.
Yeah, and Iki says, thank you. And Kurai seems intrigued by the fact that you just called these two men great warriors. And he looks it over and he says, I think I see what you mean. Yes. I'll be interested in seeing what happens in your hunt. We'll guard the bridge. And so Kurai...
You have my thanks for doing so.
Kiri kind of gives you like a slight nod, which you feel like it's a lot from him. And Iki gives like a hands together, like, of course, my good sir. So yeah, you guys cross the bridge. Is the TLDR. You arrive at the Von Steinbridge Manor. It is a long house, tilted in the middle. There's like a tented, think Skyrim, like thatched center roof run, and like a building off to the side, a building off to the one side, the other. 2-story main building. And yeah, you arrive, and you hear a woman say, There, I'm sure someone will be here soon. He sent a letter. And sounds like a woman talking to a goat wanders by the side. But yeah, so you're here. You're before the manor of the Sign Bridge.
I suppose we should begin to look for tracks and droppings and clues.
Sure. So you're gonna start looking for clues, and do you wanna? Oh yeah, you don't forget everyone to pop the long rest, but also, do you wanna?
Ah, yes.
Do you wanna go through like? I mean, you're at the front door of the house. Did someone go inside, or like Fazl? You're just straight to the track.
I would be while Fazl
Hmm.
begins to look around. I would call out.
Yeah, you call out, and what do you say?
"Ho there!"
And a voice calls and says, "Coming, coming!" And a peasant woman cracks open the door, looks, and says, "Oh my goodness! It is clearly a ritter in shining armor come to defend us. Oh, my good Glisa, come, come!" And Glisa calls out, "Tell him to come in here. I don't want to go outside." And yeah, give me, by the way, yeah, oh, survival, yeah. So you come to something pretty naturally, but we'll get into that in a second. Leeway, you've disembarked. Yep.
Can I roll an insight? Because I come inside. I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, give me.
I feel so suspicious.
Yeah,
Right?
Give me insight. Yeah,
Suspect.
yeah. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
That's a 14.
Yeah. Fear. The way she says outside, it sounds like someone saying, "I don't want to go down McStabby Alley. That's where I saw someone get McStabbed."
Oh, okay. Okay. In that case, Leeway is gonna back up the prince and be ready to go in if he so chooses.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you think? You see a peasant at the doorway.
I would-
Hmm?
I would so choose. But I would want to see what
Mhm.
Fazl's over there doing. I'm curious.
Fazl's like disappearing around the corner. He's going around this outbuilding because Fazl is about to find some blood and signs of entry.
Fazl's going to switch off some silverware again.
Yeah. He might downgrade here. So you come in, there's the Aurori of the hearth, there's the red of packed dirt. You've never seen a packed dirt floor, Yannick. Meanwhile, Leeway, you're like, damn, they got nice dirt in this house. And they have rushes.
Man,
comfortable dirt.
best
Goodness.
dirt farmers ever.
Yeah.
You see Glisa von Steinbridge. She sits on her wooden throne, and she is afraid. And I, again, struggle with the layers module and how it is depicting the world to the stream. There's a second story, which you can see if you're going to be with it. That has like a nice little statuette and everything. But yeah, you see through this doorway, like the open door, like there's been an attack of some sort. There's blood and there's broken wood. And Lisa says, "The monster was back, the bear. They took my steward and my maid."
Are you the lady of the house?
I am. This is my house. And
I am Yannick Emerald. We are here to deal with your problem.
Yannick, I know that we sent a letter to Sigrin. I didn't know he was going to send his son.
Indeed. This
Well-
is my test.
Your test. You're to become a Ritter. Oh,
Yes.
a good day, please. If there's anything you can do. There's so much
tell
blood.
me- Tell me what we are dealing with.
All I know is this. A few nights ago, there were several people attacked in nearby hamlets and in nearby houses at the edge of town. The house was broken into. There were signs of maybe a claw or something, but it was raining, and there were no signs of tracks that night. What was strange was that it was not a single person involved, but 3 people, and they were carried off, disappeared. And now tonight, 2 people have escaped. And as I clung here, oh, it's too terrible to think of. She won't tell you the last detail, but it seems pretty pressing, Yannick.
Escaped. What do you mean escaped?
I don't want to talk about it. Oh, Yannick, please just make it go away.
Can
I can't. We cannot do our job here unless we are given all of the information that we need. You seem to be holding something back, woman.
Yeah. By the way, she's 13. You're 16, but you know she's like a
You're holding back something, child.
teenager. I mean,
Oh, no, this whole thing's changed now. It's like, listen, kid.
What if we said, please?
yeah. So Leeway, do you have maybe another tack?
I'm wondering, like, I'd like to move forward, and Do I still have the spear from the guy? Like,
If
is
you
there
would
any
have, if
chance
you
I
would have
could've-
cracked it off from his corpse, yes.
Oh no, I wouldn't then.
So you're spear free.
All right. So what I would like to do is I'm going to take out my rapier, and I'm going to hold it by the blades, or like with the blade atop my hands,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to say, hey, I know you don't feel safe. Maybe if I gave you this and we talked for a little bit. We are here. We just look, the journey here hasn't been easy. I killed a guy.
Right.
So
No, don't lead with that.
yeah, I killed a guy. I'm capable. And this,
I saw that. I've been meaning to tell you. You might want to lay low for a while.
yeah, I was thinking that too. But I mean, here we have the master of the hunt, and he's killed so many. So many. We couldn't even calculate it on the way here.
You mean beasts, right? He's killed so many beasts.
Hey, I didn't ask any
I
questions
thought we were
beyond
supposed
that.
to be helping her feel better.
I'm just saying, we're capable. Look, we can, whatever the beast is, we can take care of it.
She
but
thinks
please.
about it. She takes your rapier. She holds it kind of like she's cradling something, pointing the sword in the direction of the like stabbing your rapier awkwardly and idly into the wooden beam that holds up the hall. Like, well, boing, boing. Okay, here's what happened. It came, whatever it was, and everything was dark. But it moved so sure. I could only see darkness in the shadows, and it grabbed the maid and then the steward. The steward hid. It couldn't see him, and he moved softly over the packed dirt. It couldn't hurt him. But there was a reverberation of the packed dirt when he stepped, and then it ripped through the wall and got him. I had to hide upstairs. It didn't come and get me. But they're gone. They're gone. They've run everything. I never really knew my father. They were like my parents, please. And by the way, Fazl, so you walk through, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're faint, but you find 4 sets of steps. All of them heavy tread, but wide and far apart. And it doesn't look like a soft press. Hey, finger review. It seems more like maybe chitin. And whatever it was, based on everything she's telling you, it sounds like it didn't need light or maybe even line of sight to see someone. And you also see a track going back towards a likely hill that probably has a cave in it. You could even call it out here if you wanted to ask about it.
Would I be able to infer from the local fauna and her description what kind of creature this might be?
Absolutely fucking not. From what you can infer is this shit ain't from around here. You can roll nature if you want to like really think about it long term, but you are the master of the hunt. You know these woods back and forth. You've killed everything in them at least once, and this doesn't sound familiar to you.
What does the tracks look like again?
They looked almost like circles, but with little like claws off of them. And they were heavy, but they were wide apart, almost like someone walking on 4 stilts.
Could I use nature to search for like if there's any hair or fur that doesn't belong to?
Yeah, make a nature.
people?
But again, it didn't look like a soft thing pressed in. It looked like maybe chitin. But yeah.
Oh, okay, like chitin. Okay,
But
never mind.
make me actually investigate with an advantage, thinking about that as you look through the room.
Okay.
Hasn't yet. You can't quite do it. You guys see that Fazl is in the other room where there's been violence. He's really trying to find something, but you just can't do it. Yannick, your buddy Leeway seems to have talked Gleesa into sharing information. Fazl is like, poking around doing Master of the Hunt things. What are you doing? What are you thinking as you see this girl here? She's 13. She's, supposed to be step up into the role one day, but she's had to rely on a steward, and now the steward she's relied on gone.
So I kind of glance over at Fazl for a moment, and I've watched Lee Wei do his thing, and just kind of sat silent while he was doing that. And I ask, I say, when did the killings begin?
And she says, about 4 days ago now.
And you said 5 people have been killed. You said 3 the first night and then 2 last night, including
Yes.
your steward?
Yes.
Taken or killed?
Well, there was a lot
Thank
of
you.
blood, and we never found the bodies.
So I would say, give me a moment, please. And I would walk over towards Fazl, and I would kind of, try not to make a mess walking around. I don't want to trample anything. I would kind of look around at what he's looking at, and say, dude, what do you think? What do you think this could be? What have you found?
Well, we've got some pretty deep tracks here. According to the witness over there, this thing takes its prey back to a place, and it looks like there's a cave down that way.
Would I be able to, I've had a lot of tutelage, right?
Yeah.
Going, spending time with grandfather, reading whenever I can, trying to keep up on things. Would I know anything about that this has happened before? Is there any history involved with this? Has a creature that might have, chitinous appendages shown up and taken people away? Is there,
roll
is
me,
there
roll
anything?
me a history, because this is it's a reach that you would know. It's not like, oh, super common event.
Yuck.
You vaguely recall this. You do know that your grandfather was talking to you about something called the Duvion Rising. The Duvion is, think underworld in the sense of underdark, like below you, right? Like towards the Earth's core. And down there's lots of different creatures and civilizations and peoples. And, oh my god, it's a news quiet. And the thing is, when the Duvion Risings happened and all these wars happened, they brought creatures with them that could see in the dark, that could even feel you move. You do remember one story that your mother told you about a hero who had to steal his bride back from the Duvion. There was a great river through hell, and his bride was trapped in a glistening cage. Every man who approached would be killed by the monster. He jumped in the river, and everybody was shocked. They thought he would die. But when he approached through the water, the beast did not know he was there. It's just the only story that comes to mind. You think that monster in the story had chitinous appendages, but it had like 20 of them, and it breathed fire, so you don't know if that's related.
So I would immediately tell Fazl this memory, and the kind of hitting up hard on the fact that there was the story tells that the way that the creature was defeated was because it couldn't see the hero after he had jumped into the lake. Or, I'm sorry, the river. Excuse me.
Yeah, so make me another nature roll, Basil, with
All
advantage
right.
this time after what Yannick has just told you.
Interesting.
Leeway, you're here, and she's holding onto your rapier, and she's like, "Thank you so much, but I have
Let's
my own
go.
sword." And she hands it back to you, and she whips out her little short sword, and she's like, "I'm gonna be
Oh.
brave." And it's a little big for her, but
Well, why don't you show me what you got, and I'll just
Just like,
kind of hold the blade out.
Oh
for
my
her to
god. You guys hear
break it.
the tinging of, like, blades on blades alongside giggling.
Yeah, after like a few clinks, I'd say that at some point I'm gonna go like half-heartedly and let her knock the blade from my hand.
Yeah,
And I'll
it's
be
a
like,
good one. Ooh, yeah, give me
"Ooh."
a performance to really sell it.
All right, let's go.
Nice.
That's a 19.
She's like, "Oh wow, I don't even know my own strength." And
Oh
the
my
peasant woman
gosh.
is like, "Of course, you are brave and powerful.
Exactly.
You will make your father proud when you become a full ritter." And
Yes.
and so that happens. Yannick, you're filling in Basil. Basil, Fazil, it clicks for you. There are creatures of the Devufion that move on 4 legs, have strong chitinous bodies, and are known as the Vizier. Vizier are known
Subterranean
more than that
creatures.
for their paralyzing gaze.
Oh,
However, when they use it, they expose their many eyes to additional damage, making them easier to hit. You know that these creatures engage in stockpiling, which is to say, they can gather multiple people and then eat them at their leisure. Now, most carnivores don't stockpile because corpses go bad, but they don't kill them. They consume halite. They crack off natural forces of salt, build their own saline solutions, and stick people into them, and then kill them when the time is right to eat them. You noticed something back by the bridge as you have a really quick flashback. It seemed strange to you at the time, but you didn't remark on it because, for various geological reasons this happened, but there was a broken off halite cluster on the riverbank. Almost
What?
looked like it had been chewed on.
yo, what?
Yeah.
I informed the
Wow.
prince of this development.
I just kind of rub my eyes and I bridge my nose, and it's like I didn't even notice that because I was too completely shocked that we were suddenly being approached by 2 men out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, the adrenaline. It's real.
It is in fact.
It's a rush.
So Leeway,
Yeah.
are you come over here whenever you can?
Yeah, he's
Hang
like, it's
on.
okay.
I'll grab my sword and then head
No.
over.
Yeah.
So
I would immediately inform him of everything we just talked about and ask him, so what are your thoughts?
so we might be able to bring them back.
If we can slay a beast that paralyzes people by looking at them.
Great. Let me tell her real quick.
No, wait, no. We do not make promises. We never make promises like that. You seem to have calmed her down enough that she should be fine here.
All right. All right. It'll be a good surprise.
And I looked at Fazil and it's like, and you?
Well, seems it's best we lure it out. And
Just to make sure, it's when the creature looks at us, not when we look at it, right?
So it's not. So you know enough about the Vizier to know that it needs eye contact, and it's not always doing it. It's not a Medusa.
Okay.
So it needs to activate some sort of an ability. That's what you know, and you need to be. So if you were blind, it couldn't use it on you. But you also know it's weakest right after it's used that ability. And in terms of luring it out, you think you've got fat fucking chances. It has a stockpile. It's not coming out. It's gonna eat everyone it has in there before it comes out again. You'll be waiting days, and anybody in there is definitely fucking dead.
Do we think that its lair would be back towards where the river was with the halites, or do we think it might be this cave that Fazil
You
mentioned?
think it's going to be a cave, particularly because the cave needs a deep system because these creatures only live in the Devuvion, so it has to have ascended from the dark. So wherever it is, it's somewhere deep and dark. And the peasant would point and say, "That's Wolf Run Cave, named for all the wolves that used to run around there."
used to run around.
Oh yes, a few months ago we had a small rumble beneath the feet, an earthquake, and I don't know. They cleared out shortly after.
Is this metagaming that your thing's killing wolves? Is this a knock against me? Is that what's going on here?
I actually had a whole scene planned where you're going
Wow.
to ride out with the sounds of 2 different wolf packs crying in the territory in the night, but we skipped it for time, unfortunately.
Ah.
Speaking of which, you deduce it as
buddy.
Wolf Run Cave. Oh yeah. So you think the cave is the area?
And so I'm digging at my gut here, right? Like I'm like, okay, gut, we need to talk real quick. What do we think about this thing having chewed on rocks near that river? Do we think anything of that? Is that just a? Is that do we worry about this gut? Is this something we should worry about
so
now?
Your gut tells you roll insight. Roll insight. I think this is a good use of insight.
I like to talk to my gut.
Yeah. Your gut tells you
gurgles.
that creature has been scouting. That creature has scouted the area and is starting to depopulate Steinbridge because Steinbridge is vulnerable.
Right.
It has been up and down the river. It is cracked off halite to build saline solution. It has been doing its resource managing. It is risk assessing. It's an animal, but it's a smart one. It's a hunter.
Lisa,
Yes,
we require aid.
of course,
We will need equipment,
of course.
torches, rope, things for going into a cave.
I will go out to my villagers and I will tell them we will bring you these things. Of course. And she waves her sword and says, "It shall be so." And
I stare at Leeway and make sure that I don't roll my eyes.
Yeah.
So you guys have everything: torches, pythons, climbing gear. The villagers don't have actually like real like climbing gear, but it's kind of spanned together. It'll work for this adventure. But the point is, you have all sorts of spelunking equipment handed to you, and now all that's left is to reach Wolf Run Cave. Are you ready for the climb?
See.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So one last thing happens. You hear a creature crying as you ride out. It's whoa.
It's not Artax, is it?
No.
Okay.
That's fine. You see, there's a sign of carnage and blood, and from around a tree, well, a doggo emerges.
Oh.
It's a
You
puppy.
can't do this on live stream, dude. No.
It's a little mastiff puppy,
Oh.
and there's signs of struggle nearby, historical struggle, and it's the beat grass is going towards the. Are you playing with the puppy?
I know. I am flipping out. Like, we gotta save the dog.
Puppy.
I don't care about the people.
The
We
puppy
gotta
looks
save
at
the
you
dog.
like, and looks pretty sad. Fazel, she looks pretty young. Normally would still be with a litter.
That's horrible. I've got to right this wrong.
Yeah. Here's a question. We have a puppy. What do you do?
Zoop. Like, I'm picking it. I'm like, it
Yeah.
could be a trap. You could say roll insight, natural 20. It's a trap.
No.
Well, picking up the dog.
You
It's like,
hug the
Can we,
doggo.
can
and
we
the doggo's like,
animal handling to keep it quiet?
yeah, you could do
Ooh.
that. It's kind of like making sounds, but
Vassal, we will not be taking it down in the cave unless the horses can go. I will leave this in the saddlebag of Artax.
oh, so Artax and the puppy.
Yes, I would wrap that thing up, bundle it up, like
So fucking cute.
tend to any wounds, tell it it's a good boy or girl, whatever it is.
Give me a medicine. It's a girl. Give her a medicine to help her.
Mhm.
Tell
Yeah.
Cha-Cha to stay on guard.
Yes. I don't care if we make it back as long as the dog makes it. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Her name is Samantha.
Samantha. All right, Samantha and Artax.
I've only known Samantha for 2 hours, but if anything happened to her, I would kill her.
Exactly.
Everyone in this room and then myself.
I will ruin your entire game. And then I will kill myself. Dionysus got the joke. Not the joke, the name. That's good.
All right, too soon. No. So yeah, give me a medicine check just to quickly tend to her wounds before you carry on.
So I would hold the pup and say, are any of you good at like working with medicine of healing?
You know what? Why don't you let me take a little look?
I would gingerly hand the pupper over.
Leeway is gonna like hold the pup and then just kind of try to turn away from everyone a little bit, trying to hide the fact that he is casting some bardic magic, and he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on the little puppy.
The puppy's like straightens up and like kind of coat shines, and suddenly when Leeway turns around, like the dog is like happy and beamy, looks very healthy. Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't that hurt.
You are. I am so glad that we ran into you, and I think I need to apologize to you. Actually,
Why?
I don't think that I ever thanked you for saving my life and maybe Fazil's after how many people he's probably killed. I doubt.
Well, no, I mean, he did really come in and save us. I mean,
Hey, if I'm
Thank
being
you.
honest, I think y'all had it. Y'all had it handled. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Thank you.
So with that, the puppy is safe. The dogs are the dog and all the animals are left. And you come before the Wolf Run Cave's mouth. You have to go through descent, and you find there's a small river that runs into the cave, and it goes alongside you. You slide in, and it grows dark. I have a question. So Fazil, you can see in the dark, obviously.
Yep.
People who can't see in the dark, you have torches. You want to light one up?
I would ask Fazil, does it appear safe enough to light a torch? What would you suggest here? You have sight. I can't see
give
my
me a
hand in front of my
second
face.
to let my eyes adjust. Mind you, I can't see it much better, but
And bear in mind, you see even in black and white, you see a halite cluster here. It stands to reason the creature would seek a place with such things.
we do have a positive on those clusters, though. Seems like we're in the right spot. I don't think there's
Let me go ahead and roll a perception check or something, I guess.
Yeah.
See if there's any surprises.
Alright. I'm moving this little cowl along with you so that they can hear the ambient music you're hearing, the ambient sounds. So yeah, you guys come in and yeah, so after that report, do you go on in the dark or do you like...
I'm fine with the dark. If you are,
When it comes to if things get hairy, I'm not that capable up close, so maybe I should hold the torch.
it's good with me.
Alright.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
So Li Wei, do you strike up a torch?
Yeah, I'll strike up a torch. Let's go.
A red glow fills the cave. Pulsing orange light. You see the glittering of halite crystals up front. This cluster not yet broken off. So,
Ooh.
you've entered the cave.
I still can't see anything.
Wait, you can't?
No.
What the heck? You might need to are you sure?
Yeah, I can see 2 feet in front of my face. That's it.
You can't see the light from Li Wei.
Let me see.
Oh.
Where's? Oh, there it goes. I had to run into a wall.
Alright.
Apparently, That was
Yannick pops up, boing! Oh, I can see now.
I got stars around my head like Looney Tunes, and all of a sudden,
You Tweety Bird.
You are free to advance. I will tell you when to stop moving.
how deep is this water?
It's pretty shallow. You can walk through. It's like
I'm walking through it.
yeah, it's like a foot and a half. All right, so yeah, you're walking through the water. It's halite clusters. Leeway, you're advancing. And I would point out, if the torch takes a dip in the water, it might have a bad time. But as long as you're holding it up, you should be fine. Yeah, Yannick, your vision is blocked for want of torch as Leeway is around the corner. And you come to the rush between the places, and yeah, you see there's like stalactites, stalagmites, little markings. Float the river, the underwater river splits into two here, and then it's fed by this other chamber. Yeah, you see a cracked off halite cluster. Yeah, yeah. Evidence of destruction of like rock, cracked off halite, almost like the place. It looks deliberate, like not natural wear down.
I kind of point it out and make the hand gesture for let's try south.
Right.
All right, now I'm assuming that you all try and approach quietly. Could you give me your best stealth checks?
Little bit of stealth check. Nope.
On my side.
Oh my god.
Mhm. So you're making
Mambo number 6. Here it comes. Here we go.
Mambo number 5. All right.
Oh wow, that's not terrible.
You guys aren't doing the best. So yeah, if you seep to the water, I'm assuming Leeway. You have to cross the water, but I'm assuming you try and keep on the sides.
Yeah.
And Faz, just move yourself up as you would.
Basil, come with me.
Greg?
Don't leave me behind.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
I'll accompany.
your charges are a little bit further down. Do you want me to pop you over there?
Yep.
All right. Whoop. All right, and yeah, you guys come, and at this point, you smell like maybe salt, but like tangy, like maybe
Kind of smells like the ocean.
like the ocean or a really heady stew. You also smell
Brine.
Kind of a bunch of chitin.
you smell almost maybe wet dog and
Hey,
a scent now familiar to you, blood.
Too soon.
And yeah. What do you?
I'm
yeah.
starting
All right,
to I'm starting to slow down. So I would
Mhm.
this smell starts to come out. It's like Fazil, are you able to, like, as master of the hunt, are you a stealthy kind of boy?
I can be.
Can you scout up ahead just a little bit? Since you can see without the torch.
All right, hang back a little.
Roger that.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna slink over. Hold on a second to. Oh, sorry, I'm doing something on the other hand here with my cat.
All right, you gonna also roll 11 for the
30.
triple 11 gang?
Yep. Oh snap! I almost did.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 12 instead.
Yeah. All right. So just move
So
yourself
you're
as
just
you move as you'd move.
you're not banging pots and pans together like we are. You're just jingling
Yeah,
as you go along.
you see something weird here, and yeah, you see like a spattering, sparkling something in the darkness. It looks wet and liquidy, and
Yo, was that a fucking poison?
it looks too slim to maybe more like a vomit or a smattering of something. It's hard to say, and for no particular reason. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, so you keep going. And Basil, you come out here. You see what is unmistakably a mastiff. Her like the center of her body's been chewed open. The light reaches a man who says, "Here, here," and he kind of looks over and he says, "Oh no!" As Basil, down from the ceiling comes the Vizier. And you wheel around, and do you feel the presence? Do you avert your gaze, or do you face it?
I avert my gaze, and does it notice me?
Yes. I regret to
Then-
inform you it has a fast perception as well.
I chuck me fucking boomerang.
All right. So I think this is a dueling start. It plunges, and you throw your boomerang at the same time. Pop that shot.
I'm just gonna do that plus dex. Because I don't have a thingy and the token, a button for a boomerang.
Maybe drag out slingshot and we'll change its damage.
That works.
So
How do
your
I roll a
boomerang
D20?
takes off of its hide and it stabs towards you. I'm assuming that's a hit.
Oh, my bad. I guess I did roll. No, wait, no, I didn't. This is just no. I don't know if that rolled right or not.
You got a 4. You're not hidden. So
okay.
you guys see a claw at the very edge of your light vision slash out. It almost looks like stone, but like crab hide. And it slashes Basil. There's some goblin blood on the floor. This shit had just gotten aggressively fucking real. There is a spurt of blood. You feel your heart beating. Yeah, I didn't think of it until I realized I was so deep into making
Every
it. I made a
TTA
fucking crab. I made a fucking crab. So yeah, at this point, everybody's on the initiative tracker.
All right.
I'm not on there.
I'll put you on it.
Thanks, buddy. Got it. Oh. Yeah, go last.
All right. So,
Nice.
Basil, you've had a dueling start with the Vizier. You note something fast. So, like Basil, you see these like sparkling, spackling things. Definitely the sailing solutions. You see, there's one in the same cabin. It seems that the master was cracked out before she was eaten. There's a woman stuck in this one. There's a dude stuck in this one. So he could be the steward. And the Vizier is right here. There's a little crevasse behind it, and this is a raised 5-foot high platform that just crawl out at you off of.
We cannot tell Sam about the Mastiff. We cannot. We can get out of here.
Yeah.
That's mommy.
So, at this juncture, Fazl, it is your turn.
Well, that's gonna be a hunter's mark.
Alright, you throw your horns venom that cracks over the carapace of the foe. Alright, you're gonna run up to 5 feet and set and sickle it?
Yep.
Alright, you guys see your little companion rush up and you hear, and you barely fail to break. As it's hard Titan. Yeah. The order of events here is about to fuck, unfortunately. So for Azul, is that your turn?
Yep.
Yeah, you battle has been met. You see there's an innocent civilian over here. Whatever it is, melee just engaged around the corner here.
Well, I saw Fazl go running with his sickle. I have, since I knew we were going into this type of a really shitty situation where reach might be important, I have one of Mommy's javelins in hand.
Yes, you do. One of Mommy's javelins.
Mommy jabs. I call them my pat javelins because they're my mommy jabs.
Oh.
So I would come running around that corner and just yeet.
Keep packing them next to your thermos.
Yes.
Alright, so you come in. The Vizier is in the darkness, but its eyes glow, giving you a target.
That's the aim, baby.
Pop that fucking shot, brother. Let's see. Your master at Gasku Ironwood Javelin flies. I did make that a weapon that can roll, right? Yes, okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Spurt! White blue blood over onto the sailing solution. Give me the fucking damage. Alright.
And big.
Alright. Yeah, and adding all that up, that's 8 damage. That's a good opening salvo. It's cracked. And the Hunter's Mark doesn't activate for anyone but you, right?
Say again?
Hunter's Mark only activates for you, right, Greg?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know how this game works whenever it comes to grabbing weapons out.
You get one free weapon change on your turn for no extra action cost.
Okay, so my next thing is to swift action and pull another one of those out and send it right after it.
Okay, so you draw the weapon and then you action surge for another.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
right.
I think thrown weapons and javelins don't.
They don't require.
Yeah, they're just like on you.
Yeah. So all
Like
right.
a thrown weapon, if I'm not mistaken.
So I would.
Either way, it comes out. It flies. The shaft flies.
1 second. Okay, carrying on. Here we go. Please, dice gods, be with me.
It cracks the shell again, as if though a pricey restaurant's classy distress of the crustacean foe. A further damaging 9. Holy shit.
Ooh.
And because of turret exchange to go alone, you have 1 left over, although not the action quantity to use it.
Right.
So 2 of your javelins are in it. It makes this horrible noise, opening up its shell to emit this weird flapping sound.
And as I send that second one, I kind of just look at it, like staring at it as hard as I can and yelling to get its attention towards me.
Alright, yeah.
Gosh.
Dude, that's your turn, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Leeway. Shit's going down around that corner, man. How bad you want this meal ticket?
Okay,
Shit's
let's
getting
go.
aggressively real.
20,
I'll
25,
be right back, everybody.
30. All right. Oh my gosh, that was way bigger than I thought it'd be. Holy crap.
Yeah. Holy crap.
All right.
The light of the torch shines fully well upon your foe. What do you do?
Okay. Like I in this moment, I see that I see that the prince is like trying to like. You're engaging in full eye contact with it right now?
Yeah, he's staring down.
Yeah.
Staring.
No, I am. I'm
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to basically. My goal is if somebody's got to take a paralyze and get damaged to open this thing up for the rest of you to murderate it, so be it.
Okay.
I don't die here.
Leeway is not about it. He's like, he's gonna call out, your eyes, Prince. And I'd like this to like, as he's doing that, he's gonna play his flute a little bit and send forth a bardic inspiration over towards the prince, so that for the next 10 minutes, for an attack roll, ability check, saving throw, you can choose to roll a die 6 to add to it.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
the once though,
Yeah,
but
so-
then that's my bonus action, and then I'm going to call out to the crab and be like, what the crap? And I'm casting a little vicious mockery over at it. So I'm gonna need a, in this case, a wisdom saving throw.
Yes! Ask me what happens. Oh yeah, no, give me that damage. Give me that vicious mockery.
So, this is gonna be. Hang on, let me make sure that this is roll here. There we go. It'll be 3 points of psychic
It
damage.
matters at you, pissed. You don't know what it just thought in its head, crab, but it was very negative. The foe is
Great.
bloody. Crab's half
Also,
health. Yeah.
it'll have disadvantage on the next attack it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay. It's the Vazir's
And that'll-
turn. The Vazir's knot activates as it begins to glow. And you note, this is the time when the Vazir is weakest.
Oh yes, this is the time to strike.
Yeah, but would have, yeah. So Vazir's knot goes off, and Yannick, click yourself and click that saving throw to see if you're staring it down and staring you down.
Which saving throw?
Int. It's an int save. But if you just,
Okay.
there's a button in chat. If you have yourself clicked, you just click on
Oh,
it.
got it. I would like to add that 1d6 that I was.
Yeah,
told.
you activate your bardic
go.
inspiration. So let's see the roll and let's see the d6.
1d6.
Okay, here's the thing. It failed. It doesn't fail. You pass. It's DC 11.
Nice.
Yeah, DC 11.
You hold down the inspiration of your companion, inspiring you, and so you don't get hurt.
So whenever this thing goes off, I look over at Li Wei because he's like, avert your eyes, and he's inspiring about it, and I kind of like do one of these look down, but I'm looking up like sideways so that I still got eyes on it, kind of enticing it, but it just manages to miss me out.
Yeah, it stares you down. It's being visually mocked. It lashes out at Fazil first, disadvantage due to vicious
Yes.
mockery. Missing, it crashes
Get mocked.
through nearby
Let's
stone
go.
that crumbles instead. Its next stone claw, because this does have reach, comes out to stab at Yannick. Regular. Fucking misses.
Yes.
Bubbles
let's
is
go.
splashing out in the stone, and it's gonna back away from you a bit, Basil. Having cracked off the stone, do you want to fucking try and murk it, or?
Oh, you betcha. I'm gonna take opportunity. Ah.
Yeah, so this stone here is broken and crumbles, and its stalactites get dapped up. Lots of eights to go around. It is back around. Basil, lightning round. What do you want to do?
Stick. Go attack.
All right, you
Let's
run up
see
on
here.
it.
Boom.
Sickle.
And I'm gonna use the offhand attack. Sickle in the other hand.
All right, double sickle. You come to hack the wheat. The wheat hacking maneuver. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Yes!
You break its AC, give me that damage. You rake across its open eyes, and blue-white liquid spurt.
And then the Hunter's Mark is another what again? Let me see some of. Let me just read the description real quick.
Sure. While it's
Forget if it's like a D4 or a D6.
Sure, while it's
always
happening,
forget.
Yannick's turn.
As he's doing that, I'm pulling out my longsword and barreling forward and just trying to bring it down on those glittering, freaking evil ass eyes.
Reminder, my good tactician, if you can draw a line through an enemy to a friend within 5 feet of that enemy, you have an advantage from flanking. So if you stood
Is this a wall? Oh, okay.
it's like a crevasse. Like you have to stand
Okay.
over it, but you can do it. It's just if you get knocked down, you're gonna fall into the hole.
I'll
So
get up again.
You stand striding, long sword in hand, and swing for your foe. Give me the damage. With the attack, rather. Advantage.
Advantage. Special melee. Attack. Advantage.
5. As your blade comes through its
Oh
open
my
eyes,
gosh!
roll me the crit damage. Roll me the fucking crit damage.
Let's go.
Okay.
Eh.
Oh my god, he's almost fucking dead. Blood goes everywhere. It's startling back. It's totally fucked. And yeah.
Vicious mockery, kill it.
Here's the thing. It's unironically Liwei's turn. Liwei, what do you do?
I know.
Great. Yeah, we're going for it. We're gonna throw down a little vicious mockery, and
Okay.
I'm gonna call out like, "Hey, have you ever heard of a buffet?"
All right. It fails to save. Give me the damage. You can
All
kill
right,
it. You
here
can
we
kill it.
go.
You can kill it.
Let's see.
Up.1 Gaming. This channel should be named Up.1 Gaming. It's weird.
Really?
Bad. Yeah. Anything else your turn?
I mean, it looks like the prince is on this precipice where he might fall off. So I'm gonna send out another bardic inspiration and be like, Prince, be careful up there.
All right. The vase here, it's going down, but it's going down swinging. So its Vasir's knot effect has worn off, and its eyes close up. It enters defensive formation. It lashes out first for Yannick. It also attempts to recharge its ability. It does not succeed. It lashes out at Yannick. The stone-cutted claw is descending like a pylon striking his chest. Or does it?
Yo.
Well, I
Jesus.
have, just in case, I armor class 17, but I also have +1 for defensive. So
It
armor
also
class
has
18.
disadvantage from the vicious mockery.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Actually, that's the... Because the 22 would hit you, but...
Oh, yeah. I
But
did see that. I saw the
disadvantage from
18
Vicious
pop up.
Mockery.
Oh.
Damn it.
So it still hits. Give me that. Come on.
Oh, well, okay, so you're not gonna re-roll it.
Oh, no. Wait, what?
Once for a long rest, you know how you die, and this isn't how you die. You can activate it if you want, or you take the hit. You can take the scratch.
I'll
Rock-crushing
I'll
claw
take the
sends
hit.
to your chest.
I'll take the
The
hit.
stone cutter strikes as you suffer 8 slashing damage. It hacks through the side of your breastplate. Its dented blood is coming through the rivets. You feel your ribs press into your body, and the stone cutter claws come out and they lash out at Fazzle. And they strike and they
Yikes.
rip, ripping through you for 8 more damage.
Oh boy.
It's
That's not looking good.
Yeah, Fazzle. Fazzle, what's your HP? Wait, it says your voice. Where your HP at?
I took. Give me a second. Let me scroll up real quick.
Don't worry about it. You're not dead yet. Turn.
Same burst. Same as first. I'm gonna hit him with the sickle. We're getting sick with it.
With advantage of flanking.
Oh, nice. Okay. Boom.
Another
Let's
kill
go.
on the fucking board. You run up its arms, and you Dark Souls plunging into its eyes, ripping down to its brain hole as you long swordsman hook out its fucking front plate. Give me the damage. Fun. It hits the floor, fucking dead. And on that, we end. It is 11 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for coming out
On
as
the
you,
fucking
as
die.
you witness
gosh.
the death of the foe. We have a tight schedule to keep here, everyone, but thank you so much for coming out. Holy shit, this is a campaign I've been dreaming of, and I could not have imagined a better response. I'm so sorry I wasn't more attentive to chat today. I'm learning a lot about managing my AV setup. I'll be more responsive to all of our friends chatting. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, everybody's in the chat tonight. Everyone's so active. We are going to go, and we are going to pay a visit to, you know what? Will of the Dice is live. And we will see you all on the cliff fingers. But until next time, remember, now is the age of the rain, bro.
Good night.
Yeah, you're all amazing. Fairly well. Great.